a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Inserras. Log on to their website at InserrasFlooringOutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Inserras Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. Its selection, its price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, InserrasFlooringOutlet.com, and see for yourself or visit their store. Inserras Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started. It's time to get things started. On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIDX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Well, the microphone. So good to be back. Good morning. It's 6:20, and man, we're up to the 19th of September. Tomorrow, by the way, is that Giving Day that happens here in Central New York through the Community Foundation. So get ready for that. And just an update here this morning. We're learning of a fire last night in Clayville. They're saying 3 buildings destroyed, others across the street and nearby damaged by heat, multiple cars. At least 10 departments were called in to help. That was in Clayville overnight. We'll get more details as we get them here this morning. So big Monday Night Football. This was a doubleheader night, right?
Yeah, again, odd thing from the NFL, in my opinion. I know Richard completely disagrees with me, but used to be the kickoff Monday night was your doubleheader.
Right.
Okay, so they had who was on Monday night? That was the Bills-Jets game. That was September 11th. Maybe that was why. So we had a doubleheader last night, and then next Monday is also a doubleheader. Odd. Weeks 2 and 3, you have a doubleheader.
Yeah, I guess you just you're making it when you can make it.
Yeah. So,
right?
But yeah, it's interesting, a doubleheader. But unfortunately, we had another. I'll use the word catastrophic. But you had one of the best running backs in the game, Nick Chubb, go down with a season-ending knee injury.
Yeah, and that was bad.
Yeah, it's not. It's an unfortunate thing anytime that it happens, for sure.
So I have 2 Buffalo Bills stories. I don't know if you've been following, but they're interesting. So police are searching for a former Buffalo Bills player after his mother was found dead near a creek.
Yeah, I heard about this.
So authorities searched Monday for a former NFL player after his 73-year-old mother's body was found near a creek behind her suburban Chicago home. According to authorities, relatives told officers Saturday in Maywood that they could not find Sergio Brown or Myrtle Brown. The Myrtle is the mother. 35-year-old Sergio Brown is the former Bills player. Officers found her body, and a medical examiner determined Sunday that she had been injured during an assault. So what's going on here?
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I hate to speculate on something. It's not out of the realm of possibility that someone says, oh, you used to play in the NFL? You must be rich. If I take your mother, how much will you pay me to get it back, to get her back? Or it could have been a dispute between the two, or it could have been a total, random burglary where somebody came in and assaulted her.
Well, it's possible that, I don't, there are many possibilities here. It's possible that he could be injured somewhere, and then there was a third party involved. So who knows?
That's what I mean. If somebody held his mother hostage, and I don't know.
Here's another one for you. Buffalo Bills fan found naked, covered in human waste after falling down a hole by Highmark Stadium. An unidentified football fan who was naked and covered in human excrement was discovered in a construction site hole near the Buffalo Bills home opener on Sunday. The extent of his injuries was a cut on his forehead, according to WBEN. Bills Mafia is well regarded as one of the greatest American sport fan bases. Rowdy, unpredictable, but this is like out of the question.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. Look, you Bills fans are great, and I'm all about the Bills Mafia, and
this
you have
is
a great
intense.
time. Yeah, but, I mean, cut the drinking a little bit, for crying out loud.
According to the thread, the unnamed fan is a 29-year-old male who jumped over a fence by the stadium construction site on the west side of Highmark Stadium. He fell, so this may not be nefarious other than his actions. He fell 30 to 40 feet and sustained only a cut on his forehead. But there's more. The fan was naked, covered in human excrement he had found in an on-site porta potty, a double whammy. As you can probably assume, he was under the influence of drugs and alcohol, a combination of LSD, cocaine, and marijuana. Once the rescue team arrived on the scene, it took approximately 20 minutes to get him out of the hole, and he was treated for a short time before being transported to Buffalo General. There was no mention of how long the man was trapped in the hole, although the thread does state that the first call concerning the man came in at around 12:18 p.m. So
Sunday?
This wouldn't have been this Sunday. It would have been on their home opener.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Well, yeah, this past Sunday.
Oh, it was Sunday, yeah. So, that was this Sunday.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm a bit discombobulated.
So I don't understand again, why was he covered in poo? How did that happen?
I don't think they have an answer to that, to be honest.
What the heck?
Unfortunately, the man in question is not able to really answer questions as to what happened, as you might expect.
Again, as I was saying, folks,
I think, you gotta
mix in a bottle of water every 8th drink or something, please.
Well, for every remember the LSD, the everything else. I mean, these fans are crazy.
Yeah,
it's like one fan trying to outdo the other fan every home game. It's just incredible. New York State Thruway Authority approves a toll price hike. This might be the first time Easy Pass has seen a hike in a long time.
Yeah, it's several years. I don't have an exact count on the number of years, but, how much is it going to – at some point, I guess it would be far down the road, but at some point it's going to be like $20 to drive from Utica to Syracuse. I know that's a ways out, but –
well,
I just think it's a little.
It's probably a long ways out, but right now Utica to Syracuse currently is $224.
Okay.
It will go to $235 next year, and then in 2027 it'll go to $247.
Okay, that's another thing too. I think is stupid. Just my opinion here. And I know it's different because you used to have to pay. You didn't have to pay cash. You would pay in coins or cash or whatever, but like. $224, $247.
I'm sure there's a theory behind it. There's a percentage increase.
Well, yeah,
behind it.
This is a 5% hike. Yeah.
So
it's all digital now, so I guess you're not counting pennies.
Currently, the drive from here to from Syracuse to Rochester is $304. Next year it'll be $319. Then it's $335. If you were to go from Syracuse to New York City, it's currently $12.48. Next year it goes to $13.10, and then in 2027 to $13.76. So take it for what it is. Listen, the beauty of the Thruway, you'll still hear from older people. They said that Thruway was only going to be a toll road for
20 years. Then it was going to be free.
Well, I think we were a little early in our road paving, bridge repairing world, not realizing, boy, we're going to have to maintain this thing. But I do think the best way to maintain it is to do it in a way where everybody's paying. So if you're coming in from Vermont or you're coming in from Rochester, everybody's paying. It's better for the taxpayers.
That's a good point.
Certainly better for the taxpayers of New York. Now, some will say, well, people won't come to New York because the Thruway costs too much. Really?
Well, this is the sales tax conversation we had last
I guess,
week, right?
right.
You won't buy a sweatshirt for high school in Oneida County because you pay an extra.
Right.
You pay an extra 50 cents per $100 spent. So you're gonna drive to New Jersey to buy one? Okay, I don't. It's kind of foolish to do that.
I find it right. I just don't think that's going to happen. Griffo, I am disappointed in the New York State Thruway Authority Board of Directors as they've approved increasing tolls, which I opposed and urged the board to reject. While I recognize that there is a need to maintain the Thruway system, this toll hike will further burden New Yorkers and visitors to the state at a time when many are struggling due to high prices, rising energy costs, and other economic challenges. That's Senator Griffo.
Yeah. So I guess I was a little blowing it out of proportion there with the Utica to Syracuse for $20. I'm sure it'll happen someday.
Well, maybe, in 50 years.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't take that long.
Yeah, and with inflation and minimum wage and everything, that'll be a drop in the bucket. But it does surprise me how much you pay to cross some New York City bridges today, and that continues to go up.
It does, and again, it's what I think what they like to say to you is, but yeah, do you want the bridge to collapse? Because that would be really bad. We've seen that happen in New York before, so you do want this stuff taken care of, one would think. But this is coming at a time where the infrastructure bill from Biden has been divvied out.
Right.
You would think they're cash heavy right now.
You would think so, absolutely.
Yeah.
And all bridges, like large bridges like that across the country, do you have to pay to cross them? I mean, people can threaten to say, oh, well, do you want the bridge to fall down? But it's like, again, in 20 years, how much is it going to be to cost a bridge to get into New York City? Like
well,
$50.
they're raising it even more because they don't want traffic in the city. And I got to say, coming up from New York yesterday, it was just, the city was brutal to get through. Everybody was complaining because all of the traffic in for the General Assembly, United Nations, and all of the security checks. But then the complaint was, so we had a cab driver yesterday who's like, this is stupid. What are they thinking? So not only is the General Assembly in town, they have all of these road checks, roadblocks all throughout the city with sniffing dogs. And you have that additional traffic. Then they add a street festival, and they close down Fifth Ave across like 25 blocks. You have a Mexican Day Parade, the African-American Day Parade, and you have San Gennaro Feast in Little Italy. So you have all of this additional traffic, all of these additional shut-down streets. Put that together with these shanties that all the restaurants have built that are making what used to be a two-lane street into a one-lane street, and it was just gridlock over the weekend, and it will be all week long in New York City. So
think of the gasoline that's being wasted. Those cars just sitting
there. Yeah, sitting in traffic. Let's see. You brought up. You did the story on the Johnstown story, where the man was attacking someone with a hammer, according to police.
Yeah.
Then police say attacked them with a hammer, and he was shot and ultimately killed.
Yeah. The state attorney general's office is investigating, but I don't know any details on if it was a domestic dispute or if it was some type of a burglary that was the assault occurred in advance. And I don't know anything about the background of the individual who was shot, because to be honest with you, I would imagine, I hate to be cynical here, but if it was a person of color, they would say he should have shot him in the leg because he didn't, even though he was attacking.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too. I
hammer.
mean, how do you stop such an attack? And police say they just don't have time to. You try to shoot somebody in the leg and you don't shoot them. All of a sudden, you got a hammer in the head.
Yeah, and somebody, a bystander behind, who's got a bullet wound in their leg.
Right. This story is bizarre. Out of Canandaigua, at a college there, Finger Lakes Community College in Canandaigua, out near Rochester. 2 college students, a woman and a teen girl. So they're both college students. We're talking about a 19-year-old who is the woman. The teen girl is 17. They've been charged with sexually abusing a person in student housing. It occurred at the end of August. So what you're dealing with probably is another student who was most likely 16 or 17, and these two were somehow sexually abusing this other. My assumption, a female, but I have no idea. The two were arrested. Eden Godsey, a 19-year-old from Wayne County, arrested on September 1st, and a 17-year-old from Livingston County was also arrested on the same charge on Thursday.
Another crime story that I just thought was peculiar. Richfield Springs, state police in Richfield Springs were called to an auto dealership where someone identified as a Utica woman, Teresa, the last name eludes me. I've got it on our website here. Went to a dealership, said she wanted to take a vehicle for a test drive, said, I'd like my mechanic to look at it. It's just down the road. And then the following day, she got busted, like in Pembroke, New York, after taking the Thruway, had the vehicle for like over 24 hours. She's been charged with grand larceny now.
So of all things, you take the Thruway, where there are cameras,
everywhere,
and they mark your every stop. And the cameras are amazing. They can read your license plate. If you're flying, like you could be doing 70 miles an hour, it's going to get your license plate.
Yeah.
I find that to be pretty interesting. And an apple orchard in the region has been named upstate New York's #1. Beef and Skiff Apple Orchards was named by USA Today, actually not only #1 in New York, but the #1 among the top 10, I should say, in America. So #1 in New York and among the top 10 in America. Have you ever been to that place? It's a great place to take kids during the fall for pumpkins and cider and a whole bunch more.
Yeah. No, I don't think I have. I'm very familiar with the name. I think I've had some of their products, but I don't think I've ever been on their property.
Let's see here this morning. This is last night on Monday Night Football. The Browns running back Nick Chubb sustained a knee injury so bad ESPN refused to show a replay of it. He's now out for the season. Here's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman doing play-by-play, and you can clearly hear the crowd gasp seeing the replay at the stadium. You want to hear this? You're basically hearing the replay of the fans reacting. Here we go.
Here's Chubb trying to pick his way inside the 5, and he does. And the last thing any Browns fan wants to see, Nick Chubb holding his left leg.
Oh, boy.
I am told that the replay of Nick Chubb getting injured is not to be seen.
Yeah, we're not going to show it. It's as bad as you can imagine.
They just showed it on the big screen here in Pittsburgh, and the crowd gasped.
Yeah.
So when I was watching the game, I did not see the injury. I saw the immediate aftermath of it. And to be honest with you, I didn't think it was that catastrophic, if you will, because if you saw him on the cart being carted off, he was just sitting on the cart. He looked extremely disappointed, but he didn't look like he was in any kind of pain at all.
Today is National Talk Like a Pirate Day. Please don't do it around me. That would be really annoying.
Oh, so stupid.
So stupid. Yesterday, by the way, I mentioned it was National Cheeseburger Day. It was also the birthday of the United States Air Force. Thank you for that, Ann. And I didn't get to it yesterday morning.
So something you
can
mentioned.
Tell I was a bit hungry yesterday.
About the weekend, and it was, did you say National Mexican Day, and it was also African American Day?
Well, these are days set aside for festivals in New York City. It's not like it's on the list of special day.
Okay.
Right? So there was so when you say it's Mexican, it's also UN Week in New York City. And the reason they call it UN Week is because the entire United Nations from around the world comes to New York City. So, but while all of this is going on, you have an enormous parade. And when they have a parade in the city, you can imagine the people who come out, and it's a party. It's a food party. It's a margarita party. It's waving the flags. I mean, you're just, so for a couple of miles along one of the major avenues, you can't cross and you can't get near it because the traffic is so bad. And you combine that with the United Nations and everything else going on, you could only imagine how horrible it was to get from point A to point B in New York City over the weekend. But it is what it is. I'll break and we'll come back at 6:38 Monday morning. Much to get to here this morning. I want to tell you, Tim Julian is on later on this morning. Tim, of course, my guess is we'll be reacting to his opponent, Jim Zecca, who was on yesterday talking about term limits, big on term limits. Dr. Kent Hall is on. A lot of people beginning to, you hear, hey, so-and-so has COVID once again. But it does seem to be different. We'll speak with Dr. Hall a little later on this morning. And we will do Hobica's free money question of the day. Chance for you to win $200 at 7:35 this morning.
Nature is bringing out her fall colors, and the show is on throughout Herkimer County. Enjoy kaleidoscope colors on country roads from the Mohawk Valley to the Adirondack Mountains in Herkimer County, the Experience County. Welcoming communities and colorful fall festivals, Herkimer County has it all. Book your stay now and put some color in your life. Plan your visit online at visitherkimercounty.com. Herkimer County, I love New York.
Donald Trump warned America. The U.S. dollar is under attack, and it's becoming less and less valuable by the day. Hyperinflation and speculation is killing your retirement. Don't leave your money sitting in cash. It's time you diversified and protected your future with physical precious metals. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 and get your free digital dollar survival kit and learn how you could get up to $1,000 in free silver today. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 to get your free digital dollar survival kit, and you may qualify for $1,000 in free silver. Advantage Gold is the #1 rated gold and silver company in America. Your future is precious. Protect it today when you call Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 now.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Check with your financial advisor before investing.
That's 800-900-8000.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in Central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Insera's. Log on to their website at InserasFlooringOutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Insera's Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. Its selection, its price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, InserasFlooringOutlet.com, and see for yourself or visit their store. Insera's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
Go with your gut. Your dog's immune system is based in the gut. A diet lacking in nutrients can cause itching, scratching, and a weak immune system. However, there is a solution. DINOVITE, Dinovite.
It took a grand total of 2 weeks. The dog stopped itching, the hair stopped falling out.
Try Dinovite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX. WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
I have to say that when I do these broadcasts where I have to leave town, and it's #1. It is amazing. Like, I was listening to it back riding the train yesterday, listening to it back on YouTube. And, boy, that really picks up the noise, doesn't it? I was listening to it back, and I got to say, the quality is so good, you wouldn't know that I wasn't in the studio unless you were watching on YouTube.
Yeah, it is good quality.
So anyway, but I have to say that here's why my wife, like, yes, so it was Sunday, and we hadn't even talked about it, but I had packed everything, and I don't think she realized it. So she's like, "Oh, you're not doing the show Monday, are you?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'm. We just had a vacation. I can't take another day off. I'm gonna do the show." She hates it. Why do you think she hates it? So every hotel room for the most part in New York City is small, and So here's the bed. And then there's like maybe a 1.5 foot, 2 foot little walkway between the bed and the little desk they have in the hotel room. I'm set up at the desk right next to the bed, and for 3 hours in the morning when she's trying to sleep, I am making noise. She loves it.
Yeah, I can see that why she wouldn't, but at the same time, I mean, what's the matter with the lobby? You could probably land some very interesting interviews if you just set up in the lobby.
You're right. You're right. But
I mean, come on, it was
Good point.
Mexican parade weekend. It was African American parade
there was
weekend.
Much to be had. Most of those people, though, none of them speak English, so you wouldn't.
San Gennaro parade weekend.
That's pretty exciting. That San Gennaro feast is an amazing event in New York City. So yeah. Let me go to meteorologist Craig Flint with News Channel 2. I'm sorry. Oops.
Oh boy.
I hit delay, so it's gone.
Okay, so we dumped it.
Unless you're listening on YouTube.
An honest mistake.
Meteorologist Craig Flint with WUTR. And good morning, Craig. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Bill. How are you?
No worries. I run delay. I just beeped that out.
Listen, we we accidentally mis-ID'd him. So Bill said he was with CNN, and I know nobody wants to be affiliated with CNN, so we just dumped it.
Good morning, Craig Flint. Good morning. I'm glad to see that we're following the calendar when it comes to temperatures.
Yeah, you could say. We still have a few days left in summer. And I think really, actually, it's going to kind of go out in style. Temperatures in the mid-70s as we go through the rest of the week.
Which I got to say is not necessary. I mean, with the exception of some cloud cover a little bit this weekend, who knows what we're going to end up getting as we get closer. But the weekend actually looks pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a storm system that's developing along the eastern seaboard. That's going to kind of snake its way north for Sunday. Now, there are two different ideas here. Yesterday, when I was looking at things, I was thinking, well, Sunday and Monday could be a little dicey, a little damp, a little wet.
Yeah.
But some of the data late last night and early this morning is now actually slowing everything down, so it very well could end up being a nice weekend, but we'll see. It's still iffy this far out, but I think at least the way I'm going to play it right now is it will be dry Saturday, probably increase the clouds, though, and then we'll keep a chance in for Sunday, but might be able to get rid of that chance later today. We'll see.
So, other than today being a little wet, the rest of the week, though, like Wednesday, Thursday, a little cooler, but plenty of sunshine. I mean, it should be a nice pre-fall couple of days here.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's typically our quietest time of the year is September and. At least to early to mid-October, not much happens. It's those nice days where it's warm during the day, and then at night we can really cool off because, we're losing 3 to 4 minutes on both ends, now in terms of daylight. So with the longer nights, that kind of accelerates the cooler air, and that will be evident. You'll probably be, if you haven't yet, you will definitely this week notice the difference at night where it really cools off, especially tonight and then again tomorrow night. Many areas could be down in the upper 30s by morning. So it's that time of year.
It is that time of year, and but again, not all that terrible. We'll take it. All right. So for today, expect though a little bit of wetness.
Yeah, these are actually getting a little help from Lake Ontario. It's also that time of year where we have to start kind of thinking lake effect. Now. Technically, I mean, if we're being technical, these are probably more lake-enhanced rain showers. It's not pure lake effect. No, there's a difference. You might hear that term, lake effect, lake-enhanced, and go, well, what are you talking? So basically, lake-enhanced means that if the lake wasn't there, it would still rain, but the lake is actually helping it rain,
Okay. All right.
just kind of gives it a little extra oomph. So lake effect, lake enhanced. Again, I guess we're talking semantics here. But anyway, my point is these are getting a little help from Lake Ontario. What we will see later this afternoon is this activity actually quit, and maybe a little bit of late-day sun by say, the ride home.
Okay. All right, good stuff. Listen, when the weather's nice, we always say we appreciate it. Thank you for that. Wonderful forecast. All right.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't take credit for the good days, so I don't have to take credit for the bad ones. But it never seems to work out.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't work out that way. Craig Flint, thank you.
Right.
We appreciate it. Have a wonderful week. Thank you, man.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Meteorologist Craig Flint from Eyewitness News WUTR.
You said CNN. Don't ever do
I
it
did.
again.
A Canadian wellness influencer is gaining popularity for claiming that optometrists who recommend glasses are lying to you.
Okay.
She then claims that you can cure bad eyesight using simple, holistic, multidimensional healing methods that are backed by science. You can check her out online. She has an online class. She charges only $11 for. Here is Samantha Lotus talking about her anti-glasses theory. You do not have to wear corrective lenses.
What's the one thing that your optometrist doesn't want you to know about? The fact that you do not need glasses. That's right, you may have been told that you need glasses, but that's actually a lie. There are mental, emotional, physical, and even spiritual reasons why you may not be seeing, and I'm here to tell you that that can be healed.
Emotional?
My spirit animal clawed me in the eye.
Yeah. I mean, who's paying for this $11 class? Must be somebody did.
Yeah, it's a little. Look, I believe in some cases you can avoid medical treatments, and I mean serious medical treatments, or you can get through. For instance, I had a surgery to repair a torn meniscus, actually in each knee. Depending on the severity of it, I know of many people who've let it heal naturally. Okay, but I think it's a little ridiculous here to say that your emotional being or your spirit animal or whatever the heck she's talking about is affecting your vision, and you don't actually need glasses. It'll just fix itself.
I have heard when you were a kid, and you would put on your parents' glasses.
Yeah,
they would say, "Take those off. You're going to need to wear them if you do that."
Yes.
Right? You're going to hurt your eyes. You're going to have to wear glasses.
Which is not true, I don't think.
And I do wonder if maybe, like anything else, if you wear glasses when you have a slight issue, that maybe it's possible that your eyes become dependent. You know how they say don't wear an ace bandage for too long because your knee and your wherever you're wearing it will become dependent on it, and the muscle will kind of deflate, and you'll need that ace bandage. I guess the same thing could be possible with glasses.
Well, see, I wonder though, because I've always heard of something like, especially in high school, I would hear, I've been prescribed corrective lenses. If I wear these for the next 2 years, it might fix itself. I remember people saying that. So I don't know, but I'm not putting any stock in anything that this spirit being says here. What is she in the middle of? I bet you there's a yoga stretch that fixes your eyesight.
I guess.
Is that what it is?
I guess you may be right. We talked about this a bit earlier this morning. There is apparently fire companies are still at the scene. A fire in Clayville earlier this morning. And we're talking about 3 buildings that have been destroyed. This is coming from a firefighter and others across the street from there and nearby that have been damaged by the heat. That includes damage to multiple cars. At least 10 departments called to the scene, and we're told right now there are several, well, we're saying 14 departments in total.
14 is what I saw.
And there are several fire companies that are still at the scene fighting that fire this morning in Clayville. So if you need to be traveling to that area, you might want to avoid it as you're making your way through here this morning.
Where was the fire at? And they first reported? Was it just a building? It wasn't like a building of significance or something? Okay.
I don't know anything about that. All the information that I have is that 3 buildings have been destroyed along with other property and vehicles because of the heat. It must have been quite the very intense fire. All right, Davey, what do you have for me?
It's Mike and Skyler.
I was going to be expecting to talk to Mike because this is exactly where I'm going next. Have you updated your iPhone from yesterday? Did you do it, Davey?
No, because I don't know how.
Oh, well, I'll help you with that. And we can set it up where you don't even have to do anything. It'll just update for you.
I haven't either.
Mike and Skyler, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Have you? I know you've updated yours.
Oh, absolutely. I was ran all my updates yesterday. The phone, the iPad, the TV, the watch.
So to give you an idea, yesterday I realized the update came out, and I'm sitting at my daughter's apartment with my wife, and I decide, all right, well, she's got some pretty fast internet here. I'm going to update the phone. I began updating the phone. All of a sudden, my wife decided we're leaving early. We're going to catch an earlier train out. So she's like, we got to go. And I said, well, the update's not done yet. It'll be done in a second. So we wait. And finally, I had to leave. Mike, I had to leave in the middle of an update.
Oh.
Yeah. So potentially, what am I getting myself into? You could cause some real problems. So now it asked me, do you want to update without Wi-Fi? And I went with it. So I've got a few things going a little wrong today, but it finally did end up working, and I have a phone that is working. What's your experience been with the update?
Well, first it was later. Because you never know what time they're going to do it. I think it was like 1 o'clock.
Yep.
Did it. So I have a few favorites.
Okay.
The music, I like how you can crossfade now. There's a setting, so like when you're playing enough music, it'll crossfade right into just like when you're DJing stuff. It likes you just fade right into the other song.
But it's something that iTunes always did. But I guess it didn't do it on the phone. I didn't realize that.
It didn't do it on the devices. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Didn't do that.
Didn't know that. Now you can do it.
The other one, which is real nice, they really talk about the maps. You can now download the maps into the device. So say if you go put a destination in,
and you're going to, especially if you're going to a rural area, and you lose Wi-Fi or cellular service in a rural area, you would lose the maps.
That's right, and I've actually I put in Rome, Utica, Syracuse, like all the areas that I found out too. You can actually do by county. If you click on like Oneida County, and they actually download that whole thing, and it's nice. I haven't really used it yet, but it's cool. It's right. Old Fords, Lake George, or certain areas too.
That's always the benefit of if you use GPS in your car. There's really a compact disc in your car. It used to be anyway, and maybe now it's done with a thumb drive of sorts. But it used to be a compact disc in your car that would have all of the map data on it, and then it might be able to update over time. But so you could be without internet service or without GPS, and you'd still be able to see your maps because it would be downloaded to your car's system
on the device.
Yeah.
Well, that's a cool
feature. There's a setting in there too, automatic update. So if there's a change or something when you're home,
it'll
actually update the map.
Okay, that's cool.
That. My favorite though is the live voicemail.
So that's the coolest thing. Cool. That is. I don't know if other phones already have this, but for
and it doesn't matter for you either because I actually tested it because what's kind of neat is like because you activate it on your phone.
Yes.
And somebody calls you and they might not even be on an iPhone, but you'll actually see them talk. And then if like say it's important, you can actually pick up in the middle of
so
them leaving the voicemail.
This is the closest thing to your answering machine that you're going to come to with an iPhone. And so what it is if you remember when on your answering machine somebody would call, you'd be listening, and you're like, do I pick up? And finally you'd hear what they were saying and you'd pick it up. What this does is it actually transcribes the voicemail. So it could be Jeff, and I'm like, I don't want to take his call. So I let it go to voicemail, and then I look at the iPhone, and right on the front screen it says Jeff, and you see the words, hey, listen, I got to talk to you. It's very, very important. Something just came up. And then I would answer the call midway through your message and say, hey, I'm sorry, I wasn't screening you. I just got to the phone, right?
And people are probably wondering. They have no idea. Like, oh, how is he doing that?
How did he do that? Yeah. Okay, and there's one more thing too on the new iPhone that you can do, which is very cool, and I will do it. It takes you a little while to do it, but you go into your settings, and there's 150 phrases that they ask you to read, and so you read those phrases in your voice. It then takes your voice and creates, like Siri,
your personalized voice.
It creates a personalized AI voice of you. It's pretty. It's really close. It's quite interesting. I haven't done it yet, but
It's a good start. It's a great start. Yeah,
I'll do it, and then
I haven't done that yet.
And then we'll play it on the air here as we. You be the judge. So, Mike, I'm out of time, but good stuff. Thank you, man.
You're welcome. Take care. Have a good
Mike and Skyler, love his desire for Apple.
You guys are nerds.
Utica, Rome.
They've come home. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The 5 Americans set free from Iran landed in the U.S. this morning.
This exchange, it originally happened yesterday in Qatar. That's where the U.S. handed over 2 prisoners as well and $6 billion in unfrozen oil assets back to Iran. Their president, who will also address the General Assembly today, has vowed that the country will only use that cash for humanitarian purposes. Many feel the U.S. has reason to be distrustful of that.
It's Fox's Alexandria Hoff. She referenced the UN General Assembly. President Biden will also address world leaders this morning, and so will Ukraine's President Zelensky. 2 countries are in a deadly dispute, Canada and India. Both have expelled each other's top diplomats.
The Indian government says it's absurd to suggest it had something to do with the death of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. The Sikh independence campaigner was shot dead in Canada in June. Yesterday, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said there were credible allegations the Indian state was involved.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. Congress has just 12 days left to agree on some sort of budget to avert a partial government shutdown. But House Republicans are having a hard time uniting around a plan for 30 days of spending. Congressman Matt Rosendale just told Fox,
I will not support any continuing resolution. That is merely an extension of Nancy Pelosi's spending and Joe Biden's policies that we voted against.
That is frustrating his GOP colleague Chip Roy.
You are walking away from the most important issue that we're dealing with right now for the people that we represent.
No, even if they end up uniting on that plan, it's unlikely to pass in the Democratic-controlled Senate. More auto workers may join the picket lines. The UAW has set a Friday deadline. Without progress in talks by then, they'll expand the strike beyond the first 3 plants.
We don't want to hurt the economy. We don't want to be here not getting paid peanuts. But, it's our fight. It's a fight for our life.
Stephen Summers is one of the workers who walked off the job at a Ford plant in Michigan. America's listening to Fox News.
What's the best way to stop Joe Biden's agenda? No, it's not voting Republican. A better option is to vote with your wallet. Democrats get easy votes by giving away newly printed money, but we can fight this never-ending scam by making use of physical gold. I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and this is why I recommend a physical gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. These special accounts allow you to preserve your retirement and help the country at the same time. Plus, you pay 0 penalties or taxes on the transfer. To learn more, text the word PROTECT to 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold IRA company I trust, so text PROTECT to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
We have cloudy skies, maybe some lingering rain showers, 55 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:03. This news update is brought to you by Home and Hospital Medical Supplies and Service, carrying a wide selection of home medical equipment. Call them at 315-724-6767 and online at hnhmedicalny.com. Well, we've been talking about it this morning, a major fire this morning in Clayville. More than a dozen fire departments responding. We are told that 3 buildings were destroyed and several vehicles were damaged as well. We'll bring you more on this story as the information becomes available to us. New Hartford police requesting assistance locating a missing Waterville man. They say 67-year-old James Cieslak was last seen near the Spectrum store in Consumer Square on Monday afternoon. He's about 5 feet 8 inches tall, 150 pounds, and wears glasses. A photo of him published on our website, WIBX950.com. Anyone who may have seen him or knows his whereabouts is asked to contact New Hartford Police. Meanwhile, a sad ending to the search for a missing Syracuse area woman. 36-year-old Bailey Young was reported missing over the weekend. Police discovered her body yesterday in a wooded area near the town of Salina. Troopers say there were no signs of foul play at the scene. They are waiting autopsy results to find out what caused her death. The New York State Thruway Authority's Board of Directors voting once again to give a green light to toll hikes. Now, it has been several years since the Easy Pass rate was increased, but starting in January, Easy Pass users will see an increase of 5%, and a second 5% jump would go into effect in 2027. The authority says the more money is needed for fiscal stability and to address infrastructure needs along the 500-mile highway system. In opening statements being heard today in the Capital District in the murder trial of Jacob Klein, he is the physician's assistant who prosecutors say killed 35-year-old Philip Rabidi at a home in New Scotland last year. The 42-year-old Klein representing himself in the case. If convicted of murder, he does face 25 years to life behind bars. New information also in the officer-involved shooting in Johnstown over the weekend. The man who was shot and killed by an officer has been identified as 28-year-old Nathan Wood. They say Wood assaulted someone with a hammer at the home before police arrived. He then attacked the officer when he arrived on the scene. The state attorney general's office is looking into the incident. WIBX News Time is 7:06. Several days of sunshine ahead, but we've got some wet weather today. Here's what we can expect from Eyewitness News.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, lake effect rain showers east and southeast of Lake Ontario slowly taper by midday, then gradually clearing sky. Breezy, cool afternoon, high 67. Tonight, clear, cool, low 48. And tomorrow, mostly sunny, a bit milder, too, near 70. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
All right, a doubleheader Monday Night Football last night, and it included a pretty nasty injury, one so bad they wouldn't re-show it on replay on television last night. So the Carolina Panthers lost to the New Orleans Saints 20-17. That was the early game. The game that started a little bit later was Pittsburgh hosting Cleveland. The Steelers pulled out a 26-22 victory, but an ugly injury for Browns running back Nick Chubb. He's out for the season with a significant knee injury. The 4-time Pro Bowler was hurt in the second quarter, taking the ball on a 5-yard run to the Steelers' 3-yard line. We played the audio for you this morning. It was so bad that Troy Aikman and Joe Buck said, we're not showing that again on a replay. And when they did show the replay in the stadium, you could hear all the Steelers fans go, ugh.
They did. And Wayne says, I watched it over and over again. It just didn't look all that graphic. Certainly doesn't compare to, like, the Joe Theismann injury.
Could see that. Speaking of a leg injury, Giants are expected to be without Saquon Barkley for the next 3 weeks. They're calling it an ordinary ankle sprain. He injured the ankle late in the fourth quarter, and the team's 31-28 come-from-behind win over the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday. The Giants, now 1-1, will take on San Francisco on Thursday night, a game you can hear right here on WIBX. The Jets are once again hearing criticism from the media. It never stops, though. On ESPN's First Take, Shannon Sharp said that Zach Wilson What did he say exactly? He said he couldn't play dead in a horror movie. That's a good line, I think, actually. The 24-year-old completed just 12 of 27 passes for 170 yards and 3 picks against the Cowboys on Sunday. Baseball, Jeff McNeil had a solo home run in the top of the ninth. The Mets beat the Marlins 2-1. They'll continue their series. Mets have a dozen games left, and the Yankees host the Blue Jays to open their final homestand tonight in the Bronx. Right-hander Clark Schmidt expected to get the start for the Yankees. Yankees 76 and 74. Again, they also have an even dozen games left before their season comes to an end as well. No Mets, no Yankees in the postseason this year. 12 games to go. Can you believe it?
Well,
I can't believe it.
There's still a chance that the Mets could.
Good one, Bill.
I'm just saying.
It's been over for a while now.
It kind of has. All right, stand by. We'll come back. Much to get to this hour. Hobica's free money question of the day is worth $200. I have a great question. Also, we'll talk some more about have you updated your phone yet, Davey? You're in the process of doing it right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's doing it right now.
And what's this?
It's like you get a brand new phone.
We didn't have time. I don't know. It's like you get a brand new phone. Is that right? I don't know.
Well, it is. It depends on how big the update is.
If they
offers all new features that you would only be able to get if you got a new phone, but it's an update and you get the features.
If there was a brand new iPhone out there right this minute that you could get that's newer than the one you have, and your wife said to you, Bill, you can get a brand new phone right now. Just update it.
Correct. That's
you
what
would go
she
for that?
No.
You
well,
wouldn't.
there are some features on the on the new update. There are some features that would only be available on the new phone. You know, if you have an older phone, chances are a few of these features won't work. The one I like is that when you go into landscape mode, you on your phone at night, it turns it into like an alarm clock. I mean, you're looking at, you can choose your time, your what your clock looks like. It's very cool.
That's
perfect for me because I have an old alarm clock that dates back to I don't know. I might have first gotten this before I graduated high school, and I'm still using it. I have duct tape on the bottom to keep the battery, the backup battery in, and I still use that as my backup alarm clock in the morning.
You were talking about AI with Mike.
Yes,
as we went
if you
into
do
the
mornings,
break.
you do mornings. We have backup alarm clocks.
Yeah, you know what mine is? Mitty.
Davey.
So
he's your backup.
So we were talking about AI as we were heading into the break, and I'm misunderstanding what they're using for that AI for. I thought it was a situation where I pick up my phone and I go, Siri, call Bill, and it says, okay, calling Phil. You know what I mean? One of those situations where
that is already a fix. That's already a fix.
It does it to me all the time.
No, that is a fix in this update. There's a whole big thing where Siri has become much more accurate, and it's the duck thing, right? Where you couldn't say the F word. It would always say duck. They're saying that dictation has become much more accurate. We'll see. I haven't tested it out. Greeley Ford is a big tech guy and a junkie like me and Mike. Here we go. Greeley, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Good. So what is your thought on the update?
Well, I was listening to you talk about the live voicemail.
Yes.
And it brought back a memory of a phone that Motorola made many, many years ago when flip phones were popular when they first came out. One of their later generations was a phone they called the Elite. Do you remember that one?
I guess I don't. The Elite.
Okay, well, it was a pretty slim. Yeah, it was a slim version of the original flip phone, and it had voicemail in it. So what you could do is record your voicemail message in it, and so what would happen is it would pick up voicemail, and the person could leave a message actually on your phone, and if it was a message that an answer that you call that you really wanted to answer, you could just open the flip and start talking
and interrupt
it. And the person would say, "Yeah," just like the old voicemail machines. And every now and then, someone would go, "Wait a minute, how the hell did you do that?"
Right. Well, and that's
So
what this.
it was
That's
pretty
really
cool.
that's what this is. Except I do kind of like it. It's going to be right on your front screen, and it will be showing you the text, so it'll be dictating the transcribing the voicemail for you.
Yes. What I used to do when I had that phone was I would record the same voicemail reading on my regular voicemail, digital voicemail box, and on the phone. So if someone was calling, they wouldn't know which was. They would think it was the same voicemail.
Right. Yeah.
So,
tricky.
So another thing about voicemail with AT&T, anyway, my former employer.
Yeah.
If you hear a greeting, you can press 0 and skip all of that and go right to the beep.
I guess I never knew that.
I didn't know that either.
No, I like that. Because some
And
people have a greeting that's very, very long.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah.
So you can just do that. I had a customer I used to interact with, excuse me, just on voicemail. And one of the new features in iOS 17 is live voicemail. I think you can send voicemail directly to someone else's voicemail box. And so the old AT&T platforms, called AnyPath, that was the name of the system. You could go to your voicemail box and send a voicemail to somebody else's voicemail, and it would just ping them that they had a voicemail.
That's
So
really
pretty
cool.
And I think that's in iOS 17. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
So just one thought, and this is kind of a cool a feature to have, a nice little bit of technology there. But it just reminds me, I can't remember the name of the business, but there's a series of commercials where, it might be for auto insurance or some type of insurance, where they're like, the guy is instructing people on how to not become their parents, right? And there's the piano playing in the background. Yeah. And he says...
I love those commercials.
Those are funny commercials. And one of them is that they call and it goes to an answering machine, and he's like, what's the best way to leave a voicemail? And they're like, number first, then name. And no, name, then number. And he's like, no, it's 2022. You don't leave any voicemail. Right. You just send a text message.
Or his thing is you don't have to leave your phone number anymore. It's like, because your number is right there, and so is your name. Chances are, if you're already in their address book. So, those I love those commercials.
One of the parents did something with a pound sign. I'm sorry, it's a hashtag now. And he goes, did I just hashtag? And he goes, no, you didn't. So don't go there. So there's one other thing I wanted to clear up from my call the other morning when we were talking about Android.
Yes.
So I heard from a couple of friends who gave me a little bit of grief.
You angered some people on Android the other day.
I sure did. I don't think Mike Galimi's talking to me right now, but I'll make it up to him.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say about Android, there's one thing about Android systems. All the engineers that I work with who do network diagnostics and things like that, which we all used to do, carry phones, they all use Android platform phones, all Samsung Android phones for network diagnosis. They didn't use Apple phones because Apple doesn't show you as much information if you're an engineer. And there's ways you can get into it, but it doesn't show you the detail, like what frequency you're on, what band you're on, what site you're on, all that kind of stuff. And an engineer can pull that information in real time on a Samsung or Android phone because they're doing diagnostics. We're chasing down problems. We're trying to figure out what's wrong. And nothing's better than looking at it in progress and telling exactly how you're connected to the network. And so it would help to fix problems for customers. So I'll say that about Android.
And the beauty of Apple's big thing is we don't want to show you anything. And oh, by the way, if you're, God forbid there was a death in your family and you're trying to get information off a phone, you don't have the passwords, Apple will not help you in. It could be the most horrible story in the world, but they take the belief of privacy over everything else. And I'm with that. I'm with that.
I agree too.
Yeah.
All right. You can get a subpoena, and they'll give you. They'll have to give you some information. I don't know if you can get all of it, but Apple used to provide all that network information to engineers as well, and then they stopped several years ago. So all the analysis that we do in our we did was based on Samsung Android phones uploading anonymous data to the network that we could analyze. So,
all right.
Whatever.
Interesting stuff there, Greeley. Thank you.
You got it. Have a good day, guys.
You have a great day. Greeley loves the iPhone and Apple products just like I do.
And we love Greeley.
And I got to tell you, I don't think he could resist. My guess is he probably got the new 15 Max because you can't resist it. I haven't yet. But I can't resist it.
Well, again,
at some point. You can't
your
resist
wife
it.
said just download the latest features, via the
That's
update.
right, yeah,
You don't have
update
to
the
buy a
phone.
new
It'd be like a
for
brand new phone.
$1,600.
By the way, I love the, and Greeley sent me this. I got it from a few other people as well. New York Jets have a restraining order against Colin Kaepernick. And it simply says, please stop calling us. Funny.
That's funny.
A little funny there. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients. The Falcon Clinic is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, and they're accepting new patients right now. If you're in need of a new family doctor or you're having issues with anything when it comes to your health, reach out to the Falcon Clinic today. In fact, I'll be there for a treatment today with dealing with lower back pain with Dr. Zielinski. Believe me, when you're looking for that extra assistance, the osteopathic approach can make all the difference in the world. It's a combination of modern medicine plus things that you can do to manipulate your body and things that you can do to prevent things from happening further down the road. It's the Falcon Clinic way. It's the osteopathic approach. Looking for a new family doctor? Call today. Schedule an appointment. 315-507-4751, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills.
And speaking of the Jets, there is some concern about their young quarterback because they're saying that when he's in practice today, they don't know how he's going to react. It'll be the first time in almost 48 hours he's thrown to someone other than a Dallas Cowboy.
Wow, that was a bad game the other night, right?
Yes, it was.
Ooh, boy.
That Cowboys defense
I got to tell you. So I am watching the game because I'm out of town now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not, so the networks aren't covering the Bills game.
Yeah.
So I have to go to a bar to watch the game. So I'm looking up, trying to find great sports bars near where I was at, and I found one. I swear to God, everyone was 21 or 22 or 23. And apparently they don't watch games like we always used to watch games in a sports bar. You watch multiple screens. The Bills game was up. I was able to watch it, but in the background, boom, 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 boom. Music blaring.
Really?
People are dancing. And it's like, hello, there's a game going on here. There must have been 50 TVs in there. It was awesome. People were out watching the game, but there was music blaring, birthday parties going on. The chicken wings were dry. I mean, I'm just telling you. Nothing like your own living room to be able to watch a game. But ultimately, the Jets fans who were loud and obnoxious in front of me, cheering as the Bills gave up that first touchdown, quieted as the evening went on because the second game, things got a little quiet in there. Oh, well. 7:21, Dr. Kent Hall coming right up from MVHS on WIBX.
GMC continues its commitment to professional grade engineering in Sierra. GMC, we are professional grade. GMC well-qualified buyers step up to GMC with 0.9% APR for 36 months on 2023 Sierra light duty models. Visit Matt Naimi GMC right on New York 12 in Boonville or online at mattnaimigmc.com. Driving forward together. Monthly payment is $28.16 for every $1,000 you finance. Average example down payment 16.9%. Some customers will not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 10/2/2023.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k or IRA? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. You've been lied to by the Wall Street fat cats who get paid whether you win or lose. They say risk your life savings in the stock market, but studies show people who follow that advice will outlive their savings by a staggering 10 years. They say max out your contributions to 401ks, but the man who invented the 401k now says it's a monster that should be destroyed. They say defer paying your taxes to retire in a lower tax bracket, but retirees who fell for that lie are paying higher taxes than ever. Now get a free report exposing the wealth-killing lies you've been told and discover the proven retirement plan alternative Wall Street fat cats hope you never hear about. You can get guaranteed competitive growth every year and tax-free retirement income. Get your free report now at bankonyourself.com/protect. That's bankonyourself.com/protect. bankonyourself.com/protect.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information that you should know about planning for nursing home care. Well, the best way, of course, is to plan ahead. The key is to make sure that you make decisions far ahead of the time that you need a nursing home. Getting the basic pieces in place, including power of attorney, healthcare proxy, will, trust, all those things, and working closely with your family to make sure you're organized and ready to go in case the worst happens. You should also know there are strategies you can employ, even if you currently have a loved one in a nursing home. When there's a crisis and someone's entered a nursing home, there are things we can do to act very quickly to protect some of the assets. It really does require that an elder law attorney be involved because the techniques that are used are very technical in nature. To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
Hun, we need to stop putting off getting life insurance.
I know. It's just been so busy, and I'm sure the cost is out of our budget.
Well, Jen told me that they got a $500,000 term life insurance policy from Ethos for less than $23 a month. All online with no complicated forms and no medical exam. All they had to do was answer a few health questions.
Wait, no medical exam and all online?
I know, right? It's not easy to think about, but if something happened to you, James and I would be...
Okay, I get it. Let's get a quote from Ethos right now. Wow, you were right. There's no medical exam, and Ethos makes the whole online process fast and easy. And look at these rates and coverage options. It's great protection and totally fits our budget.
Ethos. They've removed all the barriers from getting coverage. Go to checkethos.com to get your free online quote. That's checkethos.com. Quote based on a healthy, non-smoking 30-year-old male with a 20-year term policy. Rates may vary.
Major phone carriers make you sign contracts with rigid data plans to trap you into a kind of forced phonogamy. Sounds pretty insecure if you ask me. At Consumer Cellular, we believe in a more consensual and healthy form of phonogamy, free of contracts and more flexible to your data needs. This way, you stick around not because we force you to with contracts and fees, but because you love our phone plans. Like ardently love our phone plans. Phonogamously. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, let's see. I wanted to mention that Jimmy Fallon is coming to the Stanley Theater November 11th for Veterans Day, as a matter of fact, with Kennedy formerly from MTV and Fox Business Channel. And what a show it's going to be. And you can get your tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com, or River Hills Properties is offering a campaign called Heroes Tickets. You could, if you'd like, purchase a ticket or a pair of tickets or more for a veteran. Just call the box office or visit the Stanley box office and just mention you're purchasing hero tickets. And those tickets will be set aside and given through a veterans agency, given to a veteran in need. You're giving the gift of...
comedy.
Laughter. Yeah, comedy. So check that out. Ann is on the line right now. Ann, good morning.
Good morning. Actually, I had a question for Dr. Hall.
Oh, good. It's going to be a second, so stand by. We're going to get right to it.
I will. Thank you.
All right. And yesterday, the birth date of the Air Force. Yesterday. Right?
That's right.
Yeah. Ann let me know that, and I missed her message, so we're going heavy on it today.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle Christopher, she is a life coach, and it's reporting now, there's a report out that their artificial intelligence is actually giving life advice to human beings. Are we comfortable with this?
I'm not, and to be honest with you, of all the professions I thought that AI might take from us,
this is not one of them.
Well, this was not one of them, and I'm also wondering with a therapist, if you need someone to just listen to you, and I'm not knocking therapists in any way, and then give advice, it seems like the AI might be able to weigh that too. I don't like all this. I don't.
Here's Michelle Christopher. Good morning. What do you think of this, Michelle?
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. What
yeah,
do you think?
This is interesting. This is an interesting concept. As a certified life coach and as a former technology executive with 25 years in technology, I understand the power and the greatness of AI. But I also understand that when it comes to people, whether it's dealing with their problems or traumas or transformational change, they really need a personalized plan. So, companies that hire me to work with their employees or even individuals who hire me, they oftentimes come to me with one problem, but usually that's the symptom of something deeper where AI would not pick up on that.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to, through artificial intelligence, you're not going to get the empathy that you're looking for, right? There'll be no empathy.
That's true.
Yeah. Like, for instance,
and the emotional IQ. Oh,
right.
I apologize. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if I'm a computer and 2 + 2 = 4, period, right? So you're basically looking at the numbers. And you're going for a job and another person is going for the job. And you say, we're both competing for this job. How do I eliminate this person? A computer might come back and say, kill him. Just get rid of him, right? Eliminate them. There's no empathy there. There's no humanality to it at all. Is that a word?
Yeah, I think so, and I think you bring up such a great point. And they have seen issues with that. There are ethical and potential legal concerns with the advice that is given because AI is only as smart as the information that's being put in it, and it cannot discern whether it is providing legal or illegal information. So it's such a great point.
Very interesting. And by the way, it's so funny that I said there's no humanality in that. First of all, humanality is a song title. It is a word. Number 3 out of this, humanality, when I just quickly Googled it, humanality is a free artificial intelligence-powered personality test currently online. It's funny that I used that word, right? But that seems to be a word. Humanality and artificial intelligence is a word that would be in contrast with each other, right? Those two words, I would think. It doesn't have the empathy. It doesn't think the way a human would think, I don't believe.
Yeah, and it also misses some of that emotional intelligence and the nonverbals. When I am looking at a client, I can clearly see if they are uncomfortable, even if they want to say, I'm fine, everything is okay. I can see in their body language they are not okay. And that's when I can start to push or start to ask the deeper questions to get some of that stuff out, to get that healing or that transformation that they need.
All right, I want to give you this, and we'll leave you with this one, Michelle. The other day, someone came to me, close to me, and said, I have witnessed so-and-so cheating on so-and-so, and I have no choice, but I'm going to have to tell them that their girlfriend is cheating on them. So my advice at that point was, don't do it. Now, where did I come up with this? Life experience. It's experience, years and years of life experience. The reason you wouldn't say it to anybody, right? The reason you wouldn't, I feel you wouldn't say anything is because what's ultimately going to happen is the person's going to end up forgiving her or not believing you and believing her, and they're going to hate you for bringing the news. And you know what happened? Exactly. The two of them don't talk anymore because he blames him for outing her when she was the one that cheated. So, but that's life experience. AI is not going to have that.
That is true. That is such a good point. And within that situation, it's critical that that friend of yours stay out of that situation because his friend finding out from somebody other than the person who cheated increases his pain and trauma by 25%. So in that situation, I would have recommended, if they had spoken to me, that that friend go and talk to the girlfriend and say, hey, I know you did this. You need to tell him.
And further, even to make it matters even worse, the friend was the one who was actually sleeping with his friend's girlfriend. So I'm like, you don't want to reveal this. You don't want to tell him. And, he did. What are you going to do? All right, Michelle, interesting stuff. Someday I do think that maybe artificial intelligence will have learned empathy. Is it possible? I guess anything is possible, right?
I guess we'll see, huh?
Yeah, I guess we will. Okay, Michelle, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
All right. I don't think she liked me much. But, I do wonder, right? They're really basing their so AI bases its decision on previous cases. So if it's reading through cases and outcomes, it would be able to statistically give you which is the better move based on statistics.
Okay.
So maybe it's not such a bad concept after all. We say about older people, well, the reason they're wise is because they have life experience. And wouldn't AI have that life experience if it's going over all of this data and the results of all these things that have happened? Kind of wonder. Dr. Kent Hall is with MVHS. Doc, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I think AI is going to play a big role, an enormous role, in probably, it really already is, in the world of medicine.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. And it already does to a very great extent. I mean, there are, algorithms that are used for diagnosing different things that are currently humans use, but we can put in, data on an individual patient, and to your prior point, what it will give us is a statistical analysis of what is the likelihood of, the patient developing a heart attack or a pulmonary embolus, which is a blood clot in their lungs or something like that. But it's only a statistical analysis, and you really have to say, okay, this is a piece of information. This in and of itself is a piece of data, and what am I going to do with this data looking at this person who is in front of me? And so that's where AI is from a medical standpoint. I mean, there's also, when you look at the specialty of radiology and, looking at digital images of a chest X-ray or a CAT scan or something like that, AI can certainly help to guide the radiologist to say, well, this statistically looks like a appendicitis,
right?
But ultimately, it takes knowing what's going on with the patient in the moment to be able to translate that information into something that's actually going to be useful. And by useful, I mean, okay, now we're going to talk to the patient about what real options are and, what might be best for them.
We call it AI today, but it's been around. It's basically it's statistics we're dealing with, computer-generated statistics. And here's an area where it's used and we criticize it, and that is in medicine. When your insurance company rejects something the doctor suggests, what are they basing that on? They're basing that on computer-generated statistics, and it's taken away the ability of the doctor to be able to oftentimes prescribe the medicine they feel is best for you based on statistics. I think we're already in the middle of this.
Yeah, we are, and I would say that the way it's being used now is pretty preliminary. I was going to say premature, but that
sure.
That lends a bias to it. It is preliminary, and we can't rely on it completely. Insurance companies can't rely on it completely, which is why there is always an appeal process where if the doctor wants to prescribe a medication for somebody and the insurance company says we're not going to pay for it, then the doctor can talk to a medical director at the insurance company and give more specific information related to that patient, and that may or may not sway the decision, but it at least adds a human component to it.
There's the other part of this that is worth wondering is the if you look at everything based on statistics, something that is rare might not be considered by the computer, whereas a physician might say, let's eliminate every possibility. But, I wonder, and at some point we're probably going to get it right, hopefully sooner than later. Ann in Rome has a question for you, Doc. Ann, you're on with Dr. Hall.
Good morning, Dr. Hall. I actually have a two-part question. I'm getting ready to take my RSV and COVID and flu vaccines per my doctor, and I wanted to know, first of all, should I take them 2 weeks apart? And the second part of it, although it's very rare, and I want to make sure people understand very rare, the most severe reaction to the RSV could possibly be the Guillain-Barré syndrome. If something like that happened, how long would it take to develop something as far as such a severe reaction?
Great questions, Ann. So, first of all, you can actually get all three of those immunizations at the same, or vaccinations at the same time. I personally would recommend that you can get 2 out of 3. So I would recommend, for example, getting the COVID and flu at the same time, and then a couple of weeks later getting the RSV. Simply not so much from the ability of it to vaccines to actually stimulate an appropriate immune response for each of those, but really just because, getting 3 shots at the same time, the local reaction itself, the muscle soreness and stuff like that, you're probably better off not tolerating or exposing yourself to those 3 things at the same time. So that would be my recommendation, but you can get them at the same time if you so choose.
All right.
Related to Guillain-Barré, that is, to your point, a very rare consequence of some vaccines. The onset is variable, so it can be as short as a week or so, or as long as several weeks. It does not happen in the first 24, 48 hours. It is something that takes your body a while, because what's happening is that your body is actually, the antibody response is actually starting to attack some of your own tissues, specifically those that are a nervous system. And so it takes a while for that to happen.
All right.
Oh, okay, thank you so much.
All right,
Have
Ann.
a good day.
Thank you. Good luck with all that.
Thank you.
It is that time, Doc, where people are getting these shots done and their vaccinations and all of that stuff. Where do we stand on COVID? You're hearing more about it, but it doesn't seem to be putting people in the hospital like it did. Certainly, like it did in the beginning.
No, very true. So I would say, that's exactly what we're seeing in the Mohawk Valley Health System. We are seeing a number of people that are, and unfortunately a number of our staff that are coming down and feeling sick and being tested and testing positive for COVID, which means that they aren't at work, which obviously puts a strain on us and every health system from a staffing standpoint. But in terms of the numbers of patients that are in the hospital with COVID, we got up to the mid-upper teens. I think we got up to 14 or 15. But now we're back down around 7 or 8. So we haven't seen the big surge that has happened in the past in the late summer, early fall over the last couple, 3 years. I think that goes to a couple of things. Number one, so many people have either had COVID and or had vaccines that their immune system is somewhat primed, and so they're not getting as severe disease. And the second is that what is circulating now, the variant that is circulating now, really just doesn't cause the level of severe disease in the vast majority of people. There are still vulnerable people. There are still the elderly and people with significant comorbidities and with immune compromise and things like that, whether it's cancer or medications that they take, that still need to be careful, and we need to be careful around them. But in general, the general population has some degree of protection.
All right, Doc, we appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Have a wonderful week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I would say 40 days until we move into the win, everybody.
Wow.
So everybody, please have a great day, and please be safe.
All right, you do the same.
Thank you.
40 days. 40 days. Can you believe that, Tim Julian?
And 40 nights.
40 days and 40 nights. It's raining Jim Brock. It's raining Jim Brock. Sorry. Did I say Jim Bott? Jim Bott? Is that the
John Bott?
Jim Bott.
John Bott.
We'll speak with Tim Julian, Legislator Tim Julian, and candidate for re-election. We'll get to him coming up in a second. First, though, Davey, let's do our free money question of the day. It's a chance for you to win from the Hobica Law Firm. This morning we're at $200, and you're looking for caller number what this morning?
5.
Fifth caller through the lines right now at 315-736 0186. A great question on the way. Caller 5 is next on WIBX.
At Mike Carl's, we've cleaned out our warehouses to make room for new arrivals. You save big, 50% off high-end mattresses, plus same-day delivery. Mike Carl's in the backside of the New Hartford Shopping Center.
Hi, it's Jordan from Little Falls Lumber. Summer is a great time to freshen up the look of your home, and we have you covered. We stock a variety of name brand products from GAF shingles, LP vinyl siding, Sierra Pacific windows, to Moisture Shield composite decking, and premium grade pressure treated decking. We have options to fit any budget. Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations, Little Falls, Syracuse, and Schenectady, to see what we have in store, or visit us at littlefallslumber.com.
Home and Hospital Medical Supply in the New Hartford Shopping Center proudly carries a wide selection of home medical equipment. Lift chairs to buy or rent, canes, crutches, walkers, powered scooters, braces, foot care products, and so much more. And if for some reason they don't carry the product you need, they'll custom order it at no extra charge. Mary and her experienced team are there to assist you Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or call them 315-724-6767 and online at hnhmedicalny.com. Home and Hospital Medical Supplies, we make life easier.
Hun, we need to stop putting off getting life insurance.
I know. It's just been so busy, and I'm sure the cost is out of our budget.
Well, Jen told me that they got a $500,000 term life insurance policy from Ethos for less than $23 a month. All online with no complicated forms and no medical exam. All they had to do was answer a few health questions.
Wait, no medical exam and all online?
I know, right? It's not easy to think about, but if something happened to you, James and I would be...
Okay, I get it. Let's get a quote from Ethos right now. Wow, you were right. There's no medical exam, and Ethos makes the whole online process fast and easy. And look at these rates and coverage options. It's great protection and totally fits our budget.
Ethos. They've removed all the barriers from getting coverage. Go to checkethos.com to get your free online quote. That's checkethos.com. Quote based on a healthy, non-smoking 30-year-old male with a 20-year term policy. Rates may vary.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, listen, every day we do Hobica's free money question of the day. It's a chance for you to win whatever we come up with. Today, Davey, it's a $200 of Hobica's money. Love it. So, on the line right now, and it's a perfect day for Rosemarie. Rosemarie, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Utica, New York.
Perfect. Rosemarie, are you Catholic?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of a personal question.
No, you just know Rosemarie is Catholic, right? You just know. And it's perfect because today we have a Catholic question. So,
oh boy.
Let's see if you paid attention. And if you have, you're going to nail this one for $200. This is from the category fill in the blank. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
The Feast of San Gennaro dates back to the year 305, at least the inspiration for it, when Catholic Bishop Gennaro suffered from what? Ready, go.
Gout.
Wrong. Guess again.
Epilepsy.
Wrong. Worse than that. Human imposed is what I was trying to say there.
Human imposed.
It was not gonorrhea, but that would be.
What did they serve at the feast?
The bishop has suffered from a beheading,
Oh, boy.
They chopped his head off. Now,
So I'm going to accept my defeat, unlike my coworker John from Bridgewater.
oh, John is
I
brutal.
accept my loss.
John gets mad. I mean, he gets.
He's a baby, people.
That came from you, not from me. You are going to suffer the consequences. All right, listen, we're going to give you the all-in-one Utica Food and Fun card. It's a $25 gift card. Good at Aquavino Babes, 72 Tavern and Grill, Taylor and the Cook, and then the concession stands at the Adirondack Bank Center and Nexus. Beheading was the answer. Rosemary, stand by. Davey's going to get your address, okay?
Thank you.
All right, okay.
The question is, they beheaded him and said, all right, let's eat.
Let's eat. There's something about a whole thing where the blood, and they collected the blood, and they saved the blood. I mean, these people back in the 300s,
yeah,
they were.
Let's hope AI is not based on that, huh?
That's right. Yeah, please. I guess if you're going to learn empathy, you're going to skip at least 1,000 years, maybe more.
Maybe more.
What was your question again, though?
Fill in the blank. The Feast of San Gennaro dates back to where the inspiration, the year 305, when Catholic Bishop Gennaro suffered from a
See, that's kind of a misleading question.
Beheading.
I think it's a bit of a misleading because it's suffered from.
Yeah, like it's an illness.
It is.
I'm dizzy today.
Let me ask you this. If I asked it even in a different way, if when he was blank, she still wouldn't have gotten it. The key is.
How do you know?
I'm just telling you. Are you freaking think I'm going to sit here and argue with you people over this question? The key to this is, had she known the story, it would, like you say, Jesus suffered from what? Crucifixion. You'd know that because you know the story, right?
Maybe.
All right. Believe me, I want to give his money away just as much as you do, Tim. All right? Tim Julian in studio right now. Your opponent, Jim Zecca, was on the air yesterday talking about...
I wish I could be on the air with him at the same time, but unfortunately he's been a little bit elusive on that.
Well, we have asked, for a debate.
Yes.
Okay.
And he has refused here.
He says he's already... He says he's already debating you. You know, the one thing
news to me, by the way.
You don't know about that?
Well, I mean, if he says he's going to do it in the South Utica Block Association, I was there last night. I requested it. There was a nice forum between the two councilmatic candidates for South Utica, Joe Bitar and Mike Bergano, and they both did a nice job. The crowd was respectful. And the questions were good. And at the end, I said, "Look," I raised my hand. I said, "I have an opponent. This is the 19th district, encompasses a good portion of South Utica and some parts of Cornhill. We should have a forum like this for that." And they said, "Well, first they wanted to do a poll and see if people were into it or not." And someone from the crowd said, "Yes, no, we want to have it. This would be a great idea." And they have the
do a poll to have a debate.
And they're saying, well, we're going to have a mayoral next month and all these other things. And look, I get all that, but I think it's important that people get out there. My opponent has a history of coming out with a lot of hyperbole and talking, these great things and all these things are going to get done, but doesn't really lead you down a path of how they're going to get done.
Yeah.
And I need to hold his feet to the fire on that. He comes on one day, I come on the next, or vice versa. It's very difficult to do that.
You want to be on the same day.
I want to be on the same
at the same time.
And I think the general public does that. For someone who is so into this constitutional caucus and talking about how he's we need all these things. This is fair. This is fair. He's being extremely unfair about it, and he's being childish about it, I think.
Okay, I'm going to ask you.
Where do
you stand, if I could? Where do you stand on term limits? That was his big thing yesterday.
That was the big thing, that's his big thing. And again, Jim has an opportunity and takes it all the time of taking a little bit of the story and a little bit of the truth and running with it and completely diverting those truths to other directions that suit his purposes and needs. He's always done that. He was on the council back when I was in the mayor's office. He did it back then, and he's a chronic complainer, and he does not do the things that he says he's going to do, nor is he able to do the things he says he's going to do. Now, interestingly, someone at the meeting also last night stood up and said, not to do anything with this, but I have a term limit sheet here. If you want term limits, we're going to try to put this on as referendum. Well, interestingly, a few months back, I submitted legislation to the chairman of the Oneida County Board for just that, for term limits.
Yeah.
And as per the rules of Oneida County Board of Legislators, he does not have to submit that if he doesn't want to submit
Sure,
that.
yeah.
So he did not submit that. However, as per the rules, we have a certain time that we wait that this lay on his desk, and then I can bring it out after a certain time to have a 2/3 vote of the board to put this forward. So I like to do things with a little bit of a splash, so keeping it quiet, and now bringing it out before the election. Let's see who's for it and let's see who's not. And it's not going to make a huge impact on the election because there's only, I think, 6 or 7 seats that are actually in contest. But we're going to see who's for these term limits and who's not, and then push that forward from there. Now, they tend to say, well, back in 2019, he did this. Well, what happened in 2020? I mean, 2 months after I was sworn in, the world shut down.
Yeah,
and we were doing these meetings via Zoom, and it's not the easiest way to try to get your point across.
Sure, it was.
Zoom meeting.
It's almost like we can erase 2 years from.
It's terrible.
It was just
absolutely terrible time. And then coming back out of that, we were dealing with getting Nexus up and off the ground and doing things like that, finishing up this hospital, getting the hospital garage built, which I was able to. Negotiate our way, the city of Utica taxpayers' way out of paying that $27 million toward the garage, and the county picked up the full tab on that as a regional asset, and they felt that was the thing to do after some coaxing, and by all means, have had our hands full and have been doing a lot of things. So, term limits are on the agenda. I will be bringing that out at the next meeting as per the rules. But again, Jim thinks the rules are just something that are put in place to I don't even know why.
Well, it's a petition. I imagine his petition would be to pressure legislators to move forward on this.
I didn't see the petition.
Okay,
I didn't look at it. I know that he's doing it his way, and I'm doing it the right way. So
okay,
all
right.
So you guys agree on this point, though? How many terms?
I agree on it. I've always agreed on term limits. I was in under the auspices of term limits. I didn't try to change the term limits when I was on the council. In this place, looking at like 12 years. 12 years. I think 12 years is fair enough, and that's every office in Oneida County. I don't believe the DA falls under that, though, because I think the district attorney falls under state rules.
So the one he's pushing is, I believe, 8. So it would be 4 terms for a legislator, 2 for a county executive. Yours would be 6 and 3, essentially, right?
4 terms for a legislator. 4 times 2 is 8.
Yeah, the one he's pushing is 8. Yeah, and yours would be 3 and 6.
12.
Yeah,
which would be
interesting.
I think more palatable. The other thing too is we want to consider if we want to take the legislators and go to 4-year terms rather than 2-year terms, because I think that's something that if someone was not really high on the fact of term limits, the fact that maybe a 4-year term might make them take something and not give something back. I mean, the election process is a cumbersome process, and there's every 2 years makes it difficult. And I can't imagine, congressionally, how that goes. That's even worse, and that's foolish also.
Way worse, yeah.
So I wonder, and I'm not a term limits supporter, basically because I feel like term limits occur every election day.
They do, but they don't, Bill. My thought on this is that as an incumbent, you have a huge advantage. A huge advantage.
No doubt.
You have in some.
Well, not necessarily. When things are going bad, people tend to blame you for everything under the sun, though, right?
Well,
not necessarily as a legislator, but certainly as a county executive.
Well, as a county executive,
Yeah.
sure. But let's look on a state level. If you're in the minority party on a state level, you're going to shrug your shoulders and say, "I tried."
Right, right.
I've been trying out there for you. I haven't gotten anything done, but I've been trying for you.
Yeah.
And there's certainly that, but in ways of you have opportunities to do mailings, you have an opportunity to fundraise, you have an opportunity to really kind of be out there and
in the Assembly and Senate, I highly disagree with the mailers. So let's just talk about those mailers for a second. These are wonderful. They're not the flashy mailers that are sent out by campaigns, but they're mailers, and they're meant to inform your constituents of what's going on. But what happens, they save them all till the end, and they all seem to somehow come out during a campaign.
Sure. look, there's that. I mean, obviously,
taxpayer paid for it.
How many times have you been somewhere and you've had a candidate that you perhaps worked with, and that candidate is sitting in a crowd looking up at their opponent up on the stage because they have that, and here's everyone, oh, look, this good thing's happening, this one's on stage, they talked, and it's great,
right.
and the other guys or gal is down in the audience going, oh, okay.
I'm almost out of time, but let me ask you, though, how does it solve the problem that we have where you just can't seem, it's like everybody goes in unopposed all the time, it seems. There's a shortage of candidates.
That is a big problem, and I think what we want to talk about after that is go to nonpartisan elections. Because, right now we get caught up in this place has been gerrymandered for Republicans. There's been gerrymandered for Democrats. And this. I'd love to see nonpartisan elections.
Well, I got to tell you, we're almost in New York. Already independents outnumber Democrats or outnumber Republicans.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not far from.
Well, I mean, and look, that's the way it should be. At the end of the day, my opponent likes to talk about all these things. Well, he's a Democrat, and this one's a Republican, and I'm this and I'm that. Well, but the reality is that isn't that flying in the face of exactly what we think is wrong with this country today? Because we're so partisan that no matter what happens, this isn't going to get past the Republicans. This is going to get past the Democrats. And at the end of the day, I'm still me, and he's still Jim Zecca.
Okay, I'm going to let you leave it at that.
All right.
We'll continue to attempt.
Willing to debate them.
For the debate.
Anytime, any place. You say where, and I'll be there.
All right.
Can I just add to what you said? You are a Democrat locally, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you align with all the national topics, right?
Absolutely not. I mean, I do not align with the national topics in a lot of places. I mean, I'm certainly pro Second Amendment, for example.
And how much is that? How much are you going to legislate those issues, those national issues, in the legislature?
Never going to, and that's why, especially on local elections and local levels, the partisan issues are.
You've placed yourself in a position by moving around, in a position where you actually can get stuff done.
Yeah, no, it puts me in the room with the county executive and with the majority leader and
party aside. Does that matter to you?
Party aside. That's the important stuff. That's the stuff that's getting stuff done for the city of Utica in the 19th district, and that's the things I want to continue to do.
Sheriff Majel, Sheriff, DA, and County Clerk, constitutional offices, term limits do not apply. But Tim, thank you. Yep. WIBX Utica Rome. It is 8:00.
They landed. Then they got big hugs. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. 5 Americans back in the U.S. and back in the arms of loved ones this morning.
Amazing. It's amazing. Unfreaking believable. We're so grateful to be together after 8 years.
Siamak, Namazi, and 4 other Americans who had been detained in Iran landed a few hours ago, the day after being set free in a prisoner swap.
To get the 5 Americans home, President Biden worked to unfreeze $6 billion in Iranian funds that are only supposed to be used to buy food or medicine. The 5 Iranians freed from U.S. jails were charged with offenses ranging from failing to register as a foreign agent to buying parts that could be used in missiles.
That's Fox's Peter Ducey. There's an update on another jailed American, Evan Gershkovich, back in a Russian court today, appealing his arrest. The Wall Street Journal report is accused of being a spy, which he and the Journal deny. The U.S. calls him wrongfully detained, demanding Gershkovich be released. In a few hours, President Biden will address world leaders at the UN General Assembly. Iran's president is also there, and Ukraine's leader Volodymyr Zelensky will also speak, with a big focus at the summit on Russia's invasion. However, Fox's Jackie Heinrich reports from New York.
It's also about who is not here, and that includes 4 of the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. The only one showing up is the host, President Biden. While Russian President Vladimir Putin will not attend because of an international arrest warrant. Chinese President Xi Jinping also snubbed the summit. He's not even sending his foreign minister, which is a swipe at U.S.-China relations ahead of an expected meeting with Biden this November. But France's Emmanuel Macron said his heavy schedule would not allow it. And UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is also absent.
On day 5 of the auto workers' strike, UAW President Shawn Fain in a video sets a Friday deadline. If there's no progress in talks, then
more locals will be called on to stand up and go out on strike.
So far, it's 3 plants that workers have walked out of, 1 each for Ford, GM, and Stellantis. America's listening to Fox News.
What's the best way to stop Joe Biden's agenda? No, it's not voting Republican. A better option is to vote with your wallet. Democrats get easy votes by giving away newly printed money, but we can fight this never-ending scam by making use of physical gold. I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and this is why I recommend a physical gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. These special accounts allow you to preserve your retirement and help the country at the same time. Plus, you pay 0 penalties or taxes on the transfer. To learn more, text the word PROTECT to 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold IRA company I trust, so text PROTECT to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
We have mostly cloudy skies. We're at 58 degrees. WIBX News Time is 8:03. And this news update is brought to you by the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida. Join them tomorrow, September 20th, at givemv.org and show everybody that the Mohawk Valley gives. Well, crews are still on the scene of a major fire this morning that occurred in Clayville. More than a dozen fire companies responded. And there are reports that several buildings were damaged. Also, several vehicles were destroyed as well. We'll have more on this story as the information becomes available to us. Fire investigators are trying to determine the cause of that blaze. New Hartford police asking for help locating a missing man who is from Waterville. 67-year-old James Cieslak was last seen in the area of the Spectrum store in Consumer Square at about 1:30 yesterday afternoon. However, he hasn't been seen since. He's about 5'8", 150 pounds. He was wearing jeans, a navy blue coat, and sneakers. Anyone with information on Mr. Cieslak or who has seen him is asked to contact the New Hartford Police Department. Meanwhile, a sad story in the Syracuse area as a missing Mattydale woman who was reported missing over the weekend was found Monday but deceased in a wooded area. Police say 36-year-old Bailey Young was reported missing. Her body discovered yesterday afternoon near a wooded area in the town of Salina. Troopers say there were no signs of foul play at the scene, but they are awaiting autopsy results to find out what caused her death. The New York State Thruway Authority Board of Directors voting to increase tolls. Starting in January, the Easy Pass rate will increase by 5%, and a second 5% jump would go into effect in 2027. It's the first toll adjustment for Easy Pass holders in several years. The Thruway Authority says more money is needed for fiscal stability and to address infrastructure needs along the over 500-mile highway system. And new information in the fatal officer-involved shooting that occurred in Johnstown over the weekend. The man who was shot and killed by an officer has been identified as 28-year-old Nathan Wood. Authorities say he assaulted someone inside the home with a hammer before police arrived. And then the officer was attacked with the weapon after he arrived on the scene. Ultimately, Wood was shot and killed by that officer. The State Attorney General's office is looking into the incident. WIBX News Time is 8:06. Got some nice sunshine coming for most of the rest of this week. But here's what we can expect later today. It's from Eyewitness News.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, lake effect rain showers east and southeast of Lake Ontario slowly taper by midday, then gradually clearing sky. Breezy, cool afternoon, high 67. Tonight, clear, cool, low 48. And tomorrow, mostly sunny, a bit milder, too, near 70. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
We have cloudy skies and 58 degrees. WIBX News Time is 8:06. Last night, Monday Night Football, the doubleheader. It was a nice win for the Pittsburgh Steelers as they got an interception toward the end. The final 26-22 over the Cleveland Browns. T.J. Watt returned a fumble, 16 yards for the game-winning score midway through the fourth quarter. A fumble, not a pick. I apologize. Some bad news, though, for the Browns as their running back Nick Chubb suffered a nasty knee injury. He had to be carted off the field, and he will not return this season. The four-time Pro Bowler was hurt in the second quarter after taking the ball on a 5-yard run to the Steelers' 3. He was tackled awkwardly, and for those watching the game, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman said it was a nasty injury that they did not want to show on instant replay. Also last night, the New Orleans Saints defeated Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers, a final of 2017 in an NFC South matchup. Now, Derek Carr threw for 228 yards and an interception as the Saints improved to 2-0. Panthers now 0-2 on the year. Some word on the injury to Saquon Barkley. The Giants had a great win on Sunday. A come-from-behind 31-28 win. But unfortunately, Barkley suffered what they're calling a, quote, ordinary ankle sprain. That ankle sprain is expected to keep him sidelined for the next 2 to 3 weeks. The Giants will play this Thursday night on the road against the San Francisco 49ers, followed by the Seahawks and Miami Dolphins. Baseball last night, Jeff McNeil, a solo homer in the top of the ninth. The Mets get a 2-1 win over Miami. They're now 70-80, 12 games to go for both the Mets and the Yankees. The Yankees begin their final homestand of the season tonight. They open a 3-game set against the Toronto Blue Jays in the Bronx. Clark Schmidt is the scheduled starter for the Pinstripes coming up tonight.
Okay, hold on. This hour, Paul Buckley in studio. We're going to speak with Paul coming up in a few minutes. Also, Hunter Biden suing the IRS. Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio coming up as well. It's 8:08 at WIBX.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Paid for by government.com. Have you heard? Morgan's silver dollars are back for 2023. For the 100th anniversary, the U.S. Mint released the first legal tender Morgans in 100 years. They sold out instantly. Now, Morgan's silver dollars are back in 2023, minted in 99.9% pure silver, but only 275,000 coins were minted, and they will go fast. The entire market and experts agree this is a big deal and an amazing opportunity for both coin and silver buyers. Just call 1-800-973-9717 and you are guaranteed a 2023 brand new uncirculated 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. But with limited quantities, you must call now. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. Plus, you'll receive a free bonus Patriots pack, new and improved, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new 2023 Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
At AmeriQ, we know sometimes it's not about the destination and that the best connections are made along the way because we're all about real connections, online, in person, and everywhere in between. Connect with a real person online when you need us and easy mobile access to your accounts when you don't. Stay connected with AmeriQ wherever your life takes you. AmeriQ and you. Let's connect. Membership eligibility is required. Insured by NCUA.
Paid actor portrayal.
I didn't see it coming. Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. The mortgage, car payments, and all the other bills. Even things like our annual summer vacation would be out of reach. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. I knew it was time to stop putting it off and get life insurance right now. I got on my computer and went to ethoslife.com. In just 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected. Thanks to Ethos, my family won't have to worry about the bills if the unpredictable happens to me.
Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's GETETHOS.com.
Nature's bringing out her fall colors, and the show is on throughout Herkimer County.
Enjoy kaleidoscope colors on country roads from the Mohawk Valley to the Adirondack Mountains in Herkimer County, the Experience County. Welcoming communities and colorful fall festivals, Herkimer County has it all. Book your stay now and put some color in your life. Plan your visit online at visitherkimercounty.com. Herkimer County. I love New York.
Hey, the fastest growing real estate company in the area is River Hills Properties. And you know that River Hills, 15 years ago, they were unknown. It was just Bill and Robin. Robin Monjo was the listing agent. And they wanted to build a real estate company that was unique, all based on heavy on service. The services provided. And now, 15 years later, they are the number one independent agency in the area. And number two, when you look at the chains, include the chains that are out there. It's River Hills Properties. It's all about the services provided. Your listing agent is there every single time the house is shown. It's all about service and relieving the stress that is caused whenever you sell a property or try to do a closing, et cetera, et cetera. The buying and selling of a home is a wonderful thing, but it's very stressful. Let the River Hills agents help you. Call today, servicing all of upstate New York with offices in Barneville, Little Falls, and Utica. Online, it's riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Call 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Chance for you to win a 4-month supply of supplies and chemicals for your hot tub or your spa. It's from Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas. Just go to our website or you can go to Google Play or the App Store and download the WIBX 950 app. Pretty simple. It's absolutely free. Once you download it, message us one word, Tucker, as in Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas, and you'll automatically be entered in the contest. At the end of the month, we'll give away a 4-month supply of chemicals for your spa or hot tub. They at Tucker's use artesian spas made in the USA, beautiful hot tubs and spas that will really help your back, help you relax. And then there's the large one, which is a swimming spa, large enough for you to get in, swim against the current, and it's a great, great exercise. And it's available for you to look at right in the showroom at Tucker's Backyard Pools and Spas. Tommy and Ben over there are perfect when it comes to assisting you. Tommy is the wild one at Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas. Check it out, Artesian Spas, and be sure to enter. There's no purchase necessary, just using the app. Send us the message, Tucker, and you're all entered and ready to go. Some comments this morning. Tim Julian, interesting that he and Zecker are both on the same side when it comes to term limits.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I do.
Also interesting is that Tim is actually in the process of introducing that 12-year term limit to the legislature. I find that interesting as well.
So, Bill, I apologize because I neglected to mention at the 8 o'clock news there that we have another Win Keeler's cash code. All you have to do, and I'm seeing in the WIBX 950 app where we get our messages, some people are sending the code in via the app. You actually need to go to our website and enter it in. There's a page there. It says Win Keeler's cash. You just enter the codes each hour. It's at WIBX950.com. I have a pop-up ad here, so I'll tell you what it's all about in a second. Okay, we give a code every day from 8 to 5, and there's 10 cash codes every weekday. It runs through October 13th, and there is a grand prize drawing of $30,000. Make sure that you're entering this and playing it every day. We give a 3-digit code at 5 after the hour, beginning at 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. each day, and your code for the 8 a.m. hour is 714. 714, I'll have another one for you at 9:05.
All right, pretty cool. John in Bridgewater with an update on that fire in Clayville. John, good morning.
Hey, Bill, good morning. I got wondering, I was going down Route 8 this morning at 5:30. I see a fire truck pumping water out of the creek and before Clayville. Wow. But anyways, the houses on Main Street, they're really close together.
Yep.
And it's across from the thrift store. And these houses, they're huge. I mean, you go from the cellar all the way up. They're like 3-4 stories high. So, but I know my buddy's house got damaged. One is completely leveled, and the other one,
wow,
there's no saving that one either. And so that's, I don't know as of yet who started it or what. But anyways,
we're looking at like 14 companies. They're still at the scene. Really a massive fire, and cars and property damaged as well on top of the homes.
Well, the house, like I said, the houses are really close together. The parking is very limited there, so they're all parked in their, bumper to bumper, and it's a shame. So
several vehicles
it's right
destroyed
across
also.
the old firehouse on Main Street.
Okay, all right.
So,
okay, John,
I got some pictures I'll be sending you.
Okay, we'd like
Thank
to see
you,
that.
John. We appreciate that.
All right. Hey, a coworker of mine called in this morning. Don't listen to what she says.
Okay, we will ignore every word.
She said you were a genius. She said John's brilliant. Have you ever?
No, she didn't. She says, never mind.
We heard her.
Yeah, she said you're a crybaby, John.
All right. Okay,
yeah,
John.
basically. All right, guys.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Boy, you got to feel for those people out there in Clayville. Also, 8 people left homeless in a fire late last night in the city of Utica on Stark Street. 8 people left homeless in that fire. So 2 major fires in the last 24 hours in the area. All right, mentioning Hunter Biden's announcement that he is suing the IRS. To get an update on that, Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Ryan, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good. What do we know here? This is no easy task to sue the Internal Revenue Service.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't seem like it's any easy task when your father is kind of tasked with staffing and running it in many ways,
Correct.
too. But this, so that kind of adds a little fascinating aspect to this. But, the accusation is that the IRS agents who blew the whistle on Hunter Biden's tax case and alleged that the Department of Justice and the IRS were either slow walking or interfering with that investigation. Pretty much the accusation from Hunter Biden is that they targeted and sought to embarrass him, and that they illegally revealed confidential tax information when they were speaking out about this case.
So, listen, he would be entitled to the protections of the law, just like anybody else. But there are other comparisons, though, right? When the former President Trump's taxes were revealed. So, you can't have it both ways, I guess.
Yeah, and I think there's also going to be a question here on the legal side about what type of protections these whistleblowers have. That this was a whistleblower action that was taken. They do have a lot of protections for whistleblowers in the in the legal system. So I think we're going to kind of see the test of this, how strong those are.
Yeah.
What is he seeking in damages?
So we're looking at, first of all, they want the court to declare that the IRS, quote, willfully, knowingly, and or by gross negligence unlawfully disclosed Mr. Biden's confidential tax information. And they're also demanding $1,000 in damages for, quote, each and every unauthorized disclosure of his tax returns, including the ones that happen after the fact. So it's a pretty substantial list.
But here's the importance of this is that if they were to come out and do this, it would become a part of his case, saying you can't hold this against me. We've already determined it was these were released illegally. So that would be a part of, I assume, a part of his legal case.
I think that's definitely a possibility for sure.
Yeah.
Boy, I wonder, it's just, come on, it's whatever. It's a different situation when it's the president's son, and I think there's some serious allegations going on. He certainly has rights as an individual, but this is just bizarre now that he's suing after all this stuff is going on. I just find it interesting.
My guess is he's not doing the right. This is probably legal advice that is a strategic move by the attorneys, I would assume, but we'll see where it all goes.
Well, and those who hate the Bidens who are or who are pro-Trump are probably saying, I hope his father's advising him on this.
Yeah. All right.
A lot of bad advice.
Interesting, Ryan. Thank you. Ryan Schmelz, Fox News Radio. Thank you.
Hey, have a good one, everyone.
You do the
care.
same. A couple of comments here this morning that I have for you. And by the way, I mentioned that on Friday I have a lease with Steve Pani Mazda. The lease is running out, so in dealing with Rick. Ricky Z over at Steve Pawnee Mazda, we were able to come up with a solution. It's let's get you into a new vehicle. And I got to say, all weekend long, if you're watching any football, the commercials about the vehicle, the CX-90, all over TV. And this is an awesome vehicle. At some point, I'm gonna take you out into the car, and I want you to listen to this thing. I want to do it with you because my wife won't let me do it with her. I want you to listen to this thing take off. The sound alone of this vehicle in sport mode will blow your mind.
All right.
Love it. Just love the vehicle. Anyway, a couple of comments here. Wayne asking, is it crick or creek?
It's creek.
I have a creek. Is it a crick? Is there ever anywhere where the word crick works? Is
there's
it a
many
crick in your back or whatever? Oftentimes, listen, I come from the valley where people would all party on Crick Road. It's actually spelled C-R-E-E-K, and it should be pronounced creek. Manaski is right. It is and always should be creek.
But I went to, this looks like the Oxford Dictionary. I put in crick, C-R-I-C-K, a painful stiff feeling in the neck or back.
There's a crick in your back, but your creek is not, a crick is not running in your backyard. A crick could be in your back, but not in your backyard.
That's a good one.
That's a creek in your backyard. Okay, Mike says, just heard you talking about, let's see, do I have the right one? Oh, he's got a few. No, this is not the right one. All right, here it is. This is Mike. On that spa that is a swimming spa at Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas, for smaller folks, that Tucker Backyard swim pool could be a lazy river or a creek in their backyard. Also says, so if the IRS has to pay the money to Biden, do they have to put it into the shell company, in a shell company? Good question. And Rob says, remember Rachel Maddow had a big show in Trump's illegally released taxes, and it turned out to be nothing. And I wonder if she'll do the same, have a big show with Hunter Biden's taxes. My guess is the answer to that would be no.
No. And just because that happened, though, I will say this in Hunter Biden's defense, just because somebody else's rights were violated, I think did Trump choose not to sue? Doesn't mean that now Biden can't sue because Trump didn't. I understand the point they're making.
Millennial women are now claiming that this is the perfect husband. What type of guy do you think would be the perfect husband?
AI.
Millennial women are now claiming that nerdy guys end up being AI. That's kind of funny. That might be the future of men.
Yeah.
Nerdy guys end up being the best husbands.
I mean, I could see that. They're never going to forget your birthday. They're never going to forget an anniversary. They've probably been planning what gift to get you for at least the last 3 months now.
I'm going to tell you that
they're probably good financially, and they probably have a good job.
It is just BS. It depends on who you are. Some women, I guess, probably would want that perfect, quiet, non-eventful, boring husband. However, others want some pizzazz in their life, right? You don't want that.
I hope so.
For both you and I, Jeff, it's the only hope we have.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Did you know you can get a credit on your taxes for making energy improvements to your home, like new windows? The experts at New York Sash have all the information you need to take advantage. With the new energy rebates for 2023, you can get a tax credit for 30% off the cost of new windows, up to $600. But even better than that, for a limited time, New York Sash will match your window tax credit. Install brand new energy-efficient New York Sash brand windows in your home, get a credit on your taxes, and New York Sash will match it. But to claim the credit on your 2023 taxes, your new windows need to be installed by the end of the year, which means you need to call today to get into the schedule before time runs out. So contact New York Sash to find out how you can get brand new energy-efficient replacement windows and up to $1,200 back. Restrictions may apply. Visit their showroom or call 624-7344 for details from New York Sash.
Former CIA officer and survival expert Jason Hansen here. I teach people how to prepare for the unexpected. Right now, most Americans are not ready for the death of the U.S. dollar. You have money sitting in cash, and if you don't act soon, your financial future could be at risk. I have partnered with Advantage Gold, the #1 rated precious metals company in America, to release my new digital dollar survival kit that's 100% free for everyone who calls today and claims your free survival kit. Simply call 800-900-8000 and give your email address, and I will have this new digital dollar survival kit sent to you immediately. Call 1-800-900-8000 now and claim your free kit, and also mention my name, Jason Hansen, and see how you could also qualify for $1,000 in free silver. Supplies are limited, so call right now before it's too late. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Check with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
It's truck season at Steep Ponte Chevrolet. If you're in the market for a truck that's like new but don't want to break the bank, stop into Steep Ponte Chevrolet and choose from over 25 certified pre-owned trucks. Test drive a 2022 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab 4-wheel drive with only 14,000 miles, or a 2023 Chevrolet Tahoe LS 4-wheel drive with 29,000 miles. With GM certification, you'll get a 6-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and an additional 1-year bumper-to-bumper limited warranty. At Steep Ponte Chevrolet, you can find new roads and save. You'll drive with confidence knowing your vehicle is covered. Visit us online anytime at steeppontechevy.com to browse our complete inventory. Steep Ponte Chevrolet, Route 28 in Herkimer. Stop by and see why it's always easy to do business at Steep Ponte Chevrolet, your family-owned and operated dealership.
All taxes and fees due on delivery. Must take delivery by September 30th, 2023.
Nature is bringing out her fall colors, and the show is on throughout Herkimer County. Enjoy kaleidoscope colors on country roads from the Mohawk Valley to the Adirondack Mountains in Herkimer County, the Experience County. Welcoming communities and colorful fall festivals, Herkimer County has it all. Book your stay now and put some color in your life. Plan your visit online at visitherkimercounty.com. Herkimer County, I love New York.
Hey, Daylight Donuts is the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program. Daylight Donuts. You know, the pumpkin lattes are back. And, of course, 14 other flavors of lattes. At Daylight Donuts, your donuts and bagels are fresh every day. It's Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. And right now, Chuck is hiring counter help at Daylight. So full-time and part-time, they are hiring people. Reach out to Daylight Donuts today for details. And I have something here, and this is true. And if you look into it, it's true. It doesn't make it correct, but it's true. Pete says, I agree with you. This is on Creek versus Crick, or Crick versus Creek. I agree with you, but it is out there and used. Talking about Crick.
Yeah.
Same spelling, Creek, just dialect pronounces it differently. So, okay, I feel like that is true. There are certain areas where it's called Crick and not Creek. That is true. However, it's still wrong. In terms of grammatically, it's incorrect. The pronunciation is incorrect. People pronounce it that way. They do. I don't know why. And it's so much true that on Grammarist.com, this is what they say. So it's not just in our part of the U.S., but certain parts of the United States. Crick is a variant of Creek originating in the U.S., where it reflects a dialectal pronunciation of the word for a small, shallow stream. Crick might be non-standard. I say it's incorrect. Might be non-standard, but is established enough to be considered as an alternative form, and it is even listed in some dictionaries. In writing, crick is often used to create a rustic tone. Like if you're singing a country song, you might say crick. You might do it that way because it makes you, it's like rustic and country, backwoods. In the same way you would use the word ain't, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's not a word, technically, but it is one that is used often for creative purposes. So, there you go. So, all you people in the valley that call it Crick Road, no need to worry. You're just using it for creative, a creative touch to your language.
Okay, that's
Makes
interesting.
It okay. Makes it okay. Manasseh has news, 8:32 now at WIBX.
This news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service, celebrating 70 years in business, 3 generations and counting. Visit them online at clintontractor.net. I want to say thank you to John. We're getting some photos from that fire scene in Clayville this morning. We'll share those online coming up a little bit later this morning. Right now we have cloudy skies, 57 degrees. Fire crews remain on the scene of that big fire in Clayville this morning. It involved at least 3 buildings, 2 of which are heavily damaged, several vehicles destroyed as well. 14 fire companies responded and crews still on the scene this morning. They are trying to determine what caused that fire. We have no reports of injury so far this morning. 5 Americans who were imprisoned in Iran now back on U.S. soil, touching down this morning in Virginia. The Biden administration agreed to a deal exchanging the group for Iranian nationals held in the United States and also giving Tehran access to $6 billion of its own oil revenue, which had been frozen through sanctions. President Biden is scheduled to address the UN General Assembly this morning. The White House says the president will call for more international support for Ukraine and more cooperation between countries on issues like climate and infrastructure. Ukrainian President Zelensky is also expected to speak at the meetings ahead of his scheduled visit to the White House on Thursday. A new strike deal has been announced by UAW. The United Auto Workers president, Sean Fain, says. He says if no substantial progress in contract talks has been made by noon on Friday, this Friday, September 22nd, they will call on more local unions to expand their stand-up strike. The U.S. pledging an additional $11 million to local and international organizations responding to deadly floods in Libya. In a statement Monday, President Bush said the State Department and the U.S. Agency for International Development will coordinate the delivery of the aid, which will help provide support such as water, food, shelter, and medical assistance. Thousands are believed to be dead, with thousands more still missing. The military says a debris field has been found in South Carolina, apparently linked to a missing stealth fighter jet. A Marine Corps pilot ejected from an F-35B after some sort of mishap Sunday and managed to make it to ground safely in North Charleston. However, the plane, worth nearly $100 million, was initially nowhere to be found. In fact, there were reports yesterday that the military was asking people to keep an eye out if you've seen that plane. And Arizona has the most violent and aggressive drivers in the United States. That's according to a new survey from Forbes Advisor. It polled 200 drivers from every state in the nation across 9 key metrics. Topics included being forced off the road, being cursed at, and being involved in a fight outside of a vehicle. The survey put Arizona first in the nation, followed by Rhode Island, West Virginia, and Oklahoma. I don't know. They asked 200 people. I hope they asked 200 people in each state. But, I mean, come on.
So, okay. All right. It is what it is.
Have you been sworn at? Have you ever gotten out of the vehicle? If you've ever gotten out of the vehicle to fight somebody, you have a problem with road rage, okay?
You should not get out of the vehicle. You just don't know what somebody's going to have. They could have a gun in their glove compartment.
Your WIBX Weather Center forecast calling for some rain showers this afternoon. We will have a nice warm-up, though, as we wrap up the week with some sunshine. We're looking at some rain showers through the day today, a high of 65 degrees. Overnight tonight, clear skies, a low of 46. That'll be some really great sleeping weather. And this phone won't stop going off. I'm sorry. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 67. Thursday, mostly sunny, 69. Friday, mostly sunny, 72. Right now, looks like Saturday is dry, but more clouds than sunshine, with, again, a high in the upper 60s. Right now, Bill, we have 57 degrees, mostly cloudy.
All right, couple of comments to get into here this morning that are, boy, Mike is on fire today. Wow. You're just talking about what is a woman sees in a man, and apparently younger women believe today that the nerd is the quiet nerd makes for the best husbands. And our answer to that is, give me a break. You want somebody with a little pizzazz. Mike says, I'm sure your wife would say she could use a little less pizzazz in her life.
Yeah.
And Mike, you may very well be right. From Steve Houck this morning, check this out. We're just talking about my new lease with Steep Pawnee Mazda. Here's the headline. 2024 Mazda CX-90 joins list of safest cars in America.
Wow.
It has been named one of the safest vehicles out there. If you're looking for a genuinely safe SUV to protect you and your family in the event of a crash, you should take a look at the Mazda 2024 CX-90, the plug-in hybrid counterpart as well. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety has awarded both models the top safety pick award of the year.
The only thing I question is the line that it keeps you genuinely safe. What is the opposite of that?
Ingenuinely safe. I don't know. But I will say I've always complained about the SUVs where if you're if you're coming onto an intersection turning left or right, you obviously have to look to your left, look to your right. One of the problems that I think that I saw in the CX-9, which has been improved in the CX-90, is that the frame of your windshield. So that left frame, you have the post to your left. So it'd be right to the left of your registration. And on the CX-9, that post is very wide. And I think it's so wide, it creates a blind spot. That has completely been changed in the CX-90. So it's a vehicle worth checking out. Love it. Thank you, Ricky Z. And I have to tell you, at Steve Ponte Mazda, they make it easy for you to find the right used vehicle at the right price. Thanks to their Mazdas winning so many awards, they're seeing record sales volume, and they're taking in all kinds of vehicles on trade. Steve wants to offer you one location, all makes and models, with Mazdas, Hondas, Subarus, Jeeps, GMC Dodge, Hyundais, and more. And if you need a lower price or payment, Ricky says, let's make your deal where it's easy to do business. One location, all makes and models, Steve Ponte Mazda. And I do know that in their possession right now, Steve Ponte Mazda has a pre-owned with less than 41,000 miles CX-90 in their possession, which I took very good care of.
CX-9.
CX-9, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Which I took very good care of. It is. It's that beautiful blue, that cobalt, and it's just a beautiful vehicle. I'm gonna miss it, to be honest with you. I love the CX-90, but that CX-9 is available. If you wanted to go over and take my old vehicle for a test drive, it's in great shape. Just ask Rick over there. They have it at Steve Ponte Mazda. Got a break. It's 8:39 at WIBX.
When we get together with others, we can do more. On September 20th, nonprofit organizations will come together to ask for your support through Mohawk Valley Gives, the community's 24-hour giving day. But don't wait. Give now or anytime this month. Either way, every dollar counts. And you'll show everybody that Mohawk Valley Gives. Powered by the Community Foundation, MB Gives is proudly sponsored by Staffworks and M&T Bank and brought to you by Town Square Media.
Attention business owners, this is John Souza, CEO of ERTC.com. The Employee Retention Tax Credit Program provides up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. If you're confused about the program, stop right now before it's too late. Don't fall for false promises and risk your business. All ERTC companies are not the same. The bottom line, there's no such thing as guaranteed eligibility, and being innovative with tax filings can lead to an audit. At ERTC.com, we won't mislead you to attest to your own eligibility. At ERTC.com, everything is done in-house by expert CPAs, and there's no cost to get started. With the ERTC.com Fast Track Refund Program, you may qualify to get your refund in as soon as 48 hours. Get started today at ERTC.com.
Get your free refund information now. 800-200-4230. 800-200-4230. That's 800-200-4230.
Hi, it's Jordan from Little Falls Lumber. Summer is a great time to freshen up the look of your home, and we have you covered. We stock a variety of name brand products from GAF shingles, LP vinyl siding, Sierra Pacific windows, to Moisture Shield composite decking, and premium grade pressure treated decking. We have options to fit any budget. Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations, Little Falls, Syracuse, and Schenectady, to see what we have in store, or visit us at littlefallslumber.com.
Call today. Heritage Logging and Tree Removal, your trusted tree removal specialist. With today's extreme weather conditions and new invasive species wreaking havoc on your trees, it's very important to call as soon as you suspect any problems to protect your valuable property and your precious loved ones. Heritage Logging is going to be there to assess your trees and give 24-hour emergency services. For all your tree care needs, call or text today 315-796-2941 or go online to heritagelogging.com and Facebook at Heritage Logging.
It's truck season at Steep Ponte Chevrolet. If you're in the market for a truck that's like new but don't want to break the bank, stop into Steep Ponte Chevrolet and choose from over 25 certified pre-owned trucks. Test drive a 2022 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab 4-wheel drive with only 14,000 miles, or a 2023 Chevrolet Tahoe LS 4-wheel drive with 29,000 miles. With GM certification, you'll get a 6-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and an additional 1-year bumper-to-bumper limited warranty. At Steep Ponte Chevrolet, you can find new roads and save. You'll drive with confidence knowing your vehicle is covered. Visit us online anytime at steeppontechevy.com to browse our complete inventory. Steep Ponte Chevrolet, Route 28 in Herkimer. Stop by and see why it's always easy to do business at Steep Ponte Chevrolet, your family-owned and operated dealership.
All taxes and fees due on delivery. Must take delivery by September 30th, 2023.
Adirondack Home Furniture now carries Smith Brothers Furniture. Smith Brothers has been creating customized living room furniture since 1925 and is known for its high-quality, solid-built, top-of-the-line pieces. Made in America with modern technology using age-old craftsmanship, Smith Brothers offers furniture that you can have confidence in for generations. Smith Brothers is a solid and dependable brand who provide innovative furniture design with every piece. Smith Brothers is a leader in the furniture industry with their award-winning line of upholstered furniture. They have built a reputation for their value and design leadership with furniture of the finest quality. We would love for you to come and browse our extensive inventory and see for yourself. Smith Brothers, now available at Adirondack Home Furniture. Stop in today. Adirondack Home Furniture in the Riverside Center, North Utica, or at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com. Create the home of your dreams with Smith Brothers and Adirondack Home Furniture. 315-738-7817.
Listen, if you have severe back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, whatever pain you have, there's help, and you do not have to live with the pain. Dr. Hyder and the Omni Surgical Center and Paul Buckley's in here. You agree, right?
I am. He gave me,
easy now.
He gave me a shot, and it was like a miracle. I could walk again.
It's like a miracle.
Yeah.
And I mean, we used to just live with the pain. You take all sorts of pain medications, and that stuff. After the first couple times, it doesn't work.
I think, and also he strongly suggests stretching a lot too.
Yeah, well, that's a smart move.
It is. So
yeah.
it was my back, and I think I have to go in for another shot.
So, and listen, that's fine. You may have to do it a few times, but the reality is it makes the pain go away. The website is killpain.com. You can schedule an appointment with Dr. Hyder and the Omni Surgical Center by calling 315-765-8448, located in the Utica Business Park and on French Road. It is the Omni Surgery Center with Dr. Hyder, where modern technology meets cutting-edge surgery.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
I've got. Before we move on to Buckley, and who knows where this is going, I just wanted to say that I got a couple of comments here. I just read them as they come in, okay?
You do that, and I have a big surprise for both of you.
So Big Honey says, hey, Bill, is that the same car that got sideswiped by the Asian's suitcase? I don't know what that's in reference to.
It is.
He said, did you put that on Carfax?
It is. I don't know, but that was when I first got the vehicle. We're in New York City. I'm moving my daughter into her dorm, and this kid came out, and the sidewalk had a like a little. It was on a hill.
An ADA compliant. Okay.
So the kid's got his rolling suitcase.
Metal.
The thing goes right across my vehicle, right down the sidewalk, put a scratch in the whole side of the vehicle. Now I had to have that repaired, and it's all repaired. It's beautiful today. And that's a very good memory there.
Yeah. Apparently,
I'd forgotten all about it.
He's taken also. Not only does he take the other gummies he has for breakfast, he's on the nootropics too.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good memory. And then an area man a man from this area.
Okay.
He says, unlike creek, the word elementary and some other words ending in T-A-R-Y are mispronounced as elementary or, elementary or elementary.
Elementary, my dear. My good friend. Elementary, my whatever.
Watson, right?
Watson,
Yeah.
elementary. But, the reality is those are just normal. Those are... there's a British pronunciation oftentimes and an American pronunciation. Crick and creek. That's like there's a business up in the Dowdesville area called Keeler. It used to be Keeler's Auction House, spelled Kelleher.
Oh, Keller.
That's Kelleher. It's not Keeler's. How could you spell find me anything in the English language that would cause you to say that word Keeler? You wouldn't. It's not
If
spelled
the
that
H
way.
was before the L, maybe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Kelleher.
Well, you gotta
and
have
by the way, there's a street in Utica called Rutger Street. But there are certain people from the old days that call it Rugter.
Yeah.
Now, we call them dyslexic. Sorry.
The T is silent. Well, what about roof and roof?
Roof and roof. Yeah.
same
Well,
thing.
that's but again, you can get there. ROOF either way, right?
Well, there's
Yeah.
roof and
There's
and
hoof and hoof.
Right, I was
Yeah.
going to go hoof. You know who actually had a great bit on this? The American language was
George Carlin is the best at that, but
and our buddy Gallagher. He would even have the cue
you're
cards.
right.
He'd roll them over. You'd change one letter, and it would completely change the
You're
pronunciation
right.
of a word.
Gallagher did a brilliant bit on how ridiculous the English language is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to put a bow on
wait,
this from an
wait,
area man. Go
Wait till you're surprised. You're gonna love this.
He says, Google it. You will find no indication that there is an alternative pronunciation. Again, he's talking about elementary.
Okay, all right.
But I think, at least to my mind, I'm not AI or Google, but you do raise a good point about the English pronunciation versus the Americanized version.
Yeah. I mean, it's I'm calling Davey right now.
Well,
Davey, if you've answered, put it on hold, okay? And then come on in here. Come on in.
Some people say schedule. Some people say schedule.
Schedule. Well, that's British versus American.
Who says that?
What's your schedule today, Jeffrey?
The Brits do.
There's another one.
Is it
too.
Jeffrey or Jeffrey?
It's Jeffrey.
Okay.
Well, it's Jeff to you.
Actually, it's sweetheart to you.
That's right.
I forgot who I was talking to.
Yeah.
There's another one that I've seen. I've heard quite a bit lately, where it's an odd. Some people pronounce.
Easy for you to say.
Pronounce H. I will find this in a lot of social media videos, and I think it's from people overseas. But they will be like, there's a distinct. Instead of saying H, they say it like H. You spell it.
Well, give us
a
an example.
distinct H.
Give us an
Again,
example.
so they.
I'm completely lost.
Like beige carpet?
No, like
Some
if you were to
some-
spell with, they would say it's spelled WITH.
Oh, okay. All right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Well, those people missed elementary school, apparently.
Elementary.
Elementary school. My apologies.
Yeah.
All right, what are you promoting here, Buckley? Good morning.
I'm just here doing a thing for the show and also warning everybody that October 2nd, it's leave it at the curb time. So you no longer have to stick it in the can, except for until the end of November. And we're going to come in. I'm going to bring Shorty in next week, and he's going to give you all the details on that. So that's something to look forward to.
So it is. You can leaf to the curb.
In October. In October.
Not in September.
No, you still got to stick in the can until October.
Sometimes I got to tell you, I was watching your commercial the other day, and at the very beginning of the commercial, it mentions Utica. But the rest, I'm like, oh my God, I don't live in Utica. But I'm thinking, this is for me. I'm going to have to stick it in the can, right?
Yes, please do.
That's how I saw it.
So I don't understand. Is this like alternate street parking in New York City, where every other day you got to change to the other side of the road?
No, it's
like
seasons.
September is the can. Well, you said in October they start leafing it again, and then in
can-
November it goes back to the can.
It gets canned after we have for a month of spring. We have it leave it in the curb. Then for all summer, it's stick it in the can. Now back to fall, because we have all the leaves and stuff like that, it's leave it at the curb.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about just making it the same all year long? It would make it so much easier.
Not all municipalities offer this service. I mean,
that is true.
Utica is unique in this way. So, don't look a gift horse in the mouth Or is it mouth?
Where I live, for instance, if you cut branches, you have to cut them into like
3
4
feet.
foot
Yeah.
or
and
whatever.
bundle them.
And right, you're supposed to.
Yep.
But I have a neighbor who just like takes down full tree branches, just drags them to the street, and they come and take them away for her.
Right. Not everybody.
Maybe she has to pay for that. I don't know.
Not everybody complies. So.
Yeah.
Well, and I will tell you where I live, they'll take your green waste every single week, but they won't take grass clippings, which drives me insane.
Why are grass clippings so bad?
Because they get stuck in the sewers.
Okay.
And they clog
all right.
up. They turn into like cement.
Yeah, but they won't even take it if you put it in a
They
barrel.
won't in New York Mills. They won't. Well, all grass clippings in Utica have to be in a can. Have to stick in the can. So
I have a neighbor who has like a lot with trees on it. Perfect place for the grass clippings.
Yeah. You know what?
I put them all.
I've clearly defined my property border with my neighbors because that's what, if I let it go for, 10 days or something before I mow, I mean, I have a half an acre back there.
You would, yeah.
It's a lot of grass.
I would just think, though, that it just
cut it and leave it on the lawn.
Well, that is
Let it decompose.
I had a science teacher that said, why are you taking the clippings off your lawn? You should not do that.
Right. They have proteins.
But I have a company called True Green that says take your clippings off the lawn.
Well, and
pay us, by the way.
I will tell you, most times I do leave it on the lawn. But again, I had used, and thank you to my neighbor, he gave me some weed and seed stuff, right? So he's like, hey, I got some extra. You can't take it back to the store. I got 2 open bags. You want them? Sure. Well, and I put this stuff on last season. I got no weeds in the front, and the grass grows. Like if I don't mow it every 4 days, I got the side shooter. It's a wide riding lawnmower. So it's shooting like 4 feet worth of territory every time you go over, and it starts piling up like, hey, I was going to try to sell it to our farmer friend up north there.
Meanwhile, you have a second thumb growing on your right hand. It's awesome.
Well, that's for my hair products. I got hair and another thumb coming out of my fingers.
Something's going on there. All right. So what I wanted to do.
Let's have the surprise.
The surprise. Are
Yes,
you guys
I'm
ready
dying
for this?
yes.
Davey, can you come in? Here is the. Let me make sure this is working here.
Jeff,
1, 2.
right
1, 2.
over
Perfect. Okay.
Right over the clippings. Just keep riding over the mulch mower.
Okay. So what I wanted to do is bring you guys into this CX90, and I want to put it in. My wife, I haven't done it yet, but I'm told that if you put it in sports mode and you hit it, the vehicle literally practically lifts up off the ground, and it sounds like you're in a sports car the way it shifts.
Is it electric?
It is.
Partially,
It's
yeah.
hybrid.
Okay.
But I would not. But in sports mode, it's not hybrid.
Okay.
It's all
gas.
gas.
Yeah.
All
It's
gas.
It's like turbo.
Yeah.
Okay,
You want to
perfect.
try it? Let's head out. Davey, you'll run it from here. Jeff, you got to come.
I will come. I hate to say this, though, but I had a dream recently that not only was this the ending to the final Keeler in the Morning show, City Limits no longer aired after this date. So
That
I
might
hope
be-
we're going to be okay.
yes. By the way,
he's taking us on a car ride. I don't know if we're coming back.
you're
Buck.
going to be fine.
Just like that lady they found in Western New York.
Brank Construction, if it's concrete, driveways, sidewalks, or putting you in the ground, Brank Construction. I'm just kidding on that part of concrete, but old stone walls, block walls, chimneys, masonry and concrete work. If that's what it is Brank Construction. Call them today at 315-894-3481. 315-894-3481. Brank Construction. Call today. All right, Davey, come over here. You're going to run it from here, and then we're going to bring up my here. You have to wear my headphones. You're going to pop me up.
1, 2, 1, 2. Hold on, I'm leaving. Do you have me now, Davey?
Gotcha.
Okay. All right, heading to the vehicle. Paul, you're going to have to leave that here. You're not going to have time. Okay. All right. All right, we're making our way out to the vehicle. Thank you. Okay. Nice little look to the
Sharp.
Sharp?
I like it. It's the black color. It's very nice. It's large, by the way. This is much larger than the CX-9, I think. This looks like the traditional. It's built like the traditional SUV. All leather on the inside, Bill. You have good taste. And I will tell you also, they have, instead of the bench-style seating that goes in a lot of SUVs where the seats are connected, I like this individual seating. You got armrests on both sides. In a lot of SUVs where it is quite sweet.
Sure we're not feeding back in here, Davey.
That's your radio, though, right?
Oh, it could be the radio
Yeah,
on. That's the problem. All right, here we go. Davey,
we're about to
Davey,
start here.
can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right, perfect. Okay. By the way, the vehicle's on because it's set up as electric right now.
It's got that. Yeah, you don't even hear it start.
You don't hear it. Davey, hold on, everybody quiet. Davey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, now everybody's gonna have to be quiet because you're gonna hear this freaking thing take off. So I'm told. I tried to do it yesterday with my wife in the car, and she's like, "Do not do this." But we're gonna do it here. Beautiful. I'm gonna try to get out onto River Road and see what we can do. This is exciting, Bill. Can you hear Paul, Davey?
Yes, I can hear.
Hi, Davey.
Hello.
This is perfect. There's no traffic. Here we go. Here we go now. I'm going to just stop in the middle of 49 here, or River Road. Davey, tell my kids I love them. I'm switching to sport mode. Are you ready?
I am.
Davey, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Wow, the whole dash lit up red when you went to sport mode.
Here we go. Whoa! Wow.
Wow. So as soon as you pressed the gas, I came up off the ground here. Oh, my goodness.
Here come the cops. Wow. That went
like 0 to 60
in like 2 seconds. 5 pretty fast.
Holy crap.
Davey, were you able to hear that, or do I have to do it again?
No, I heard it.
Isn't that something?
As soon as you touch the gas, I'm in the back seat.
Your head goes back.
Yeah. My butt went up in the air.
Yeah. It was.
That always does that, Jeff.
All right, that's how we'll end the program, Davey. Have a wonderful day, and you take it from here. We'll be back tomorrow morning.
GMC continues its commitment to professional-grade engineering in Sierra. GMC, we are professional grade. GMC well-qualified buyers step up to GMC with 0.9% APR for 36 months on 2023 Sierra light-duty models. Visit Matt Naimi GMC right on New York 12 in Boonville or online at mattnaimigmc.com. Driving forward together. Monthly payment is $28.16 for every $1,000 you finance. Average example down payment, 16.9%. Some customers will not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 10/2/2023.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Consult your healthcare provider before use.
Introducing Vinia, a breakthrough superfood with a full matrix of polyphenols from the red grape. Enjoy the health benefits of a bottle of red wine minus the alcohol, sugar, and calories.
Vinia gives me the motivation and the energy to knock things off my bucket list. Other supplements I've taken in the past were okay, but I never really got the that alertness. But being able to have something like Vinia, where I can take and I get that sustained energy, it's the thing I've been looking for. Vinia is a game changer.
In a clinical trial, Vinia significantly increased the dilation of arteries. This dilation increases your blood flow and the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to your brain, heart, and other tissues, supporting heart health and improving your physical energy and mental alertness. Use code RADIO to get 10% off your first order at ordervinia.com. That's ordervinia.com. Ordervinia.com. Vinia. Better blood flow, better life.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
And the unfreezing of $6 billion in Iranian oil revenue, something critics call ransom money.
That's Fox's Lillian Wu. Another American remains jailed. Evan Gershkovich, a Wall Street Journal reporter, was back in a glass cage inside a court in Moscow today, appealing his arrest as an accused spy. The U.S. demands Gershkovich be set free.
The charges against Evan are baseless. The Russian government locked Evan up for simply doing his job. Journalism is not a crime.
That's U.S. Ambassador to Russia Lynn Tracy. In about an hour, President Biden will address world leaders at the UN General Assembly, expected to talk about Russia and the war in Ukraine. Its President Volodymyr Zelensky will also speak at the UN.
He's likely to once again lobby countries for aid in his fight against Russia, and before he's scheduled to visit Washington later this week, where funding for Ukraine has been a contentious issue in Congress.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. Now, Congress has 12 days to work out some sort of a budget. House Republicans are trying to work out a plan for 30 days more funding. Congressman Jerry Carl says with non-defense spending cuts and border security provisions.
I think it's a good CR. I think we need to vote it in. We need to keep the country moving.
But other Republicans disagree and may block the plan. No funding means a government shutdown. But Congressman Matt Rosendale also tells Fox Business that's not a big deal.
Only 15
15% of the government gets shut down. Most everything is going to get paid, and even the part that does get shut down, those payments are merely deferred. They are not canceled.
America's listening to Fox News.
What's the best way to stop Joe Biden's agenda? No, it's not voting Republican. A better option is to vote with your wallet. Democrats get easy votes by giving away newly printed money, but we can fight this never-ending scam by making use of physical gold. I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and this is why I recommend a physical gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. These special accounts allow you to preserve your retirement and help the country at the same time. Plus, you pay zero penalties or taxes on the transfer. To learn more, text the word PROTECT to 989898